What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I wonder how many people going to have ADS on today's show. You mean TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. What's up, friends? What's going on? Hopefully y'all enjoyed the show last night on the Q show. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know, it never just stops. Checking in Anton to see if you're still interested in the NBA All-Star game. Where's the All-Star game at? I couldn't, K Cooper. I couldn't make it because I got a pack, because I got a flight tomorrow night and all of that. So I need to wait till I get settled. Anton derangement syndrome. I don't think that that's a thing. I don't think that that's a thing. I'm not popular enough for Anton derangement syndrome. Where is the All-Star game? It's in LA? LA where? Which LA? Is it at the Clippers arena or is it at oh, it's at the Clippers arena. It's definitely a thing. I don't see it. Hello?
Hey, Anton, it's Jacqueline calling about the All-Star game.
Hey Jacqueline, what you doing?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm doing well. The All-Star game is in
Good.
LA this year?
Yeah.
What are the dates?
It's the February 13th through the 15th.
February 13th through the 15th.
Yep.
And it's at the Clippers arena?
Yeah, it's at the Intuit Dome.
What's the packages?
So for the whole, would you want to do the whole weekend?
I mean, no, I'm not really interested in no skills challenge or anything like that.
Okay, so just the All-Star game.
Yeah, and I don't know what they got. I don't know what the format is for like the dunk contest and the 3-point contest or anything like that.
Yeah, so we have a couple of different like 3-day packages, but we'll also have 2 days. So
Oh,
Friday's the Rising Stars game. So some of like the rookies will
okay.
play in that, and then Saturday is like the skills and the dunk contest, and then Sunday is the actual game. We'll also just have like some dinners and like cool activations throughout the weekend too. It kind of depends, really want to go all out, and then from there we have like different stages that each package.
Give me some numbers. Give me some numbers and some details.
Okay. So right now our that package that we have available today for all 3 days, and that includes everything else we have extra. That one is 13,000 a person.
So 26,000 total.
Yep.
Well, where's the seats at? Where's everything at?
Yeah, I can let me do over. So it's gonna be low.
So everything courtside go to partners and sponsors, and everything lower level is available, or some lower level is available.
Yeah, I just texted you a picture of them. But this will include all 3 days, as well as on Saturday we're renting out the restaurant and we'll have a really good dinner in there. You'll have pre-game hospitality for the entire weekend, behind the scenes for access to the crossover. So this gives you everything that we have to offer for the weekend.
All right. Can you send me? Is it possible you can text me some details or email me some details, like some different packages for me to look at?
I'll send an email with our like best packages we have
Okay.
available,
Okay.
and then just let me know what your thoughts are. Or give me a call back.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna call. Can I call you this afternoon?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. I'll send those over right now.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yep. Bye bye.
All right. Bye. She had texted me, and then she had called me right after that because she was asking me if I was interested in All Star packages. So I don't know, man. I'm just kind of off. Um, I'm not sure if like the dunk contest and all of that, it's just not the same as it used to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. I know I'm not what. See, this is how people bait you, Brandon Burke. This is how people bait you and to go ahead and then you must work for the NBA All Star game. You must work for the NBA All Star game because you know what a lot of people do? They Let me tell you what black people used to do. All right, before we get into the show, and I'm gonna read the super chats, cash apps, and everything. Let me tell you what they used to do to us when we were younger. They would bait us. The salespeople would bait us, and they would say, you know you can't afford that car, or you know you can't afford that, or you know you can't afford that watch. And then in order for us to make sure that our ego, because you know back then you had to prove something to somebody, in order for us to make sure that our ego was intact, we went ahead and bought it. So then we would say, I got it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And so then you would go ahead and buy it just to prove to people. And you don't even know this person. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have a real profile picture. They got an animated profile picture. You're never gonna see them in life. But but when we were younger and ignorant, we would fall for that. And instead of us doing whatever we gonna do, whether we go or not, and making an informed decision, you let your ego get the best of you, and then that's how you wind up crashing out. And it's happened to me when I was younger. When I was a much younger man, I've done stuff like that. I've definitely wanted to stun on it, but then I'm thinking back on it, I don't even remember who the person was that even incentivized me to go ahead and do it. So I think that that's a cute comment, very childish, but I'm a grown man. Oh, okay. So I assessed it wrong. I apologize. I know you got it. You just don't seem interested. I don't know if it's about interest as much as it is just about experiences. Of all of the things that I've done in my life and all of the different NBA games and stuff that I've went to, I've never been to All-Star weekend.
And one of my and here's the reason why I'm kind of conflicted. It's because I'm not necessarily caring about the All-Star game. But remember when I was telling y'all that one of my goals this year is to go and visit every NBA arena? And the Clippers got the new Intuit Dome, which they just pretty much recently opened up last year. And so I want to actually go and see the Intuit Dome. I'm not really sure if I want to go and pay $13,000 per ticket to go and see it, but I do want to go and travel and pretty much visit almost every arena where I can catch an NBA game because I actually want to go and see every arena, every NBA arena that I can see in the United States of America. So that's playing into it. I've never been to an All-Star game before. That's playing into it. And then I also want to just go and see certain things. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I'm gonna be out in LA this weekend, so I can go and see. I can go to a game this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Detroit has never had an NBA All-Star game. That's true. But part of the reason that that's true also is because our team wasn't in Detroit. The team was in Auburn Hills. So now that we have more hotel rooms, more infrastructure, a better downtown, and the team actually moved to the city, I think that pretty soon you'll probably see that happen here in Detroit. So, but yeah, man. Yeah. Dane T says, I love the morning show, getting me through my work day. I'll be getting hyped to get to the bag thanks to the chasers. All right, so let's go ahead and get some housekeeping in order so we can go ahead and get to the show. So first and foremost, bag chasers. There's a new drop on the Patreon this morning. Early this morning, I dropped a new Patreon video. Tomorrow, I'm dropping another Patreon video. This is never seen before content. Everything that you see dropping on the Patreon, from the live streams that we'll be doing, from the videos, it's all brand new, never seen before content, locked in the vault that I am now releasing to you guys, and it will never be available to the general public. So one of the things that I went through today, because a lot of people have been talking about the content creation aspect of things, I broke down exactly how I'm never able to miss a drop, right? So every day, it doesn't matter if I'm flying, don't matter if I'm going to Croatia on a 12-hour flight, it don't matter if I'm going to Tokyo, it didn't matter if I'm going to LA this weekend. I've never, ever missed, ever. I don't miss a live stream. I don't miss a video. I don't miss anything. And so as I'm taking you through, and you'll see me in different places, the airport, you'll see me jumping on a plane, getting on a Delta One flight. You'll see me in downtown Detroit. So I recorded it with a lot of different background information, but I also gave you a lot of insight and a lot of game. So if you are a content creator, and you ain't even got to be a content creator, but if you're a content creator, if you are a business person, if you own your own business, or you just want to start being a lot more consistent so that you'll get better results, this video is for you. All right? This video is for you. You definitely want to watch this video, but then I'm dropping another one tomorrow. So you want to get caught up by making sure that you look at the first drop this year, which I dropped this morning, and then you want to be able to capture it. All right? So if you are a Patreon member, if you're a bag chaser, make sure you go and watch the video. It is, let me see. Watch it after the show. Let's see. It's 11 minutes long. All right? It's 11 minutes long. I literally dropped it today. So let me show you. It's 11 minutes long. I dropped it today, and it will not be available to the general public ever. So let me just share my screen so you can see exactly what it looks like. So you won't misunderstand exactly what it looks like. This is what it looks like. All right? It's 11 minutes long.
We're in a good space.
Well, let me not play it. I don't want to play it. So it's 11 minutes long. You can check it out, and then you can go from there. All right? All right. So shout out to my bag chasers. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Again, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm gonna be literally responding. The only comments that I'm gonna be responding to, as far as comments on videos, is in the Patreon. So if you have a question, leave them under the video on the Patreon. And then I'll answer any comments that y'all have relative to the content that we dropped on the video. All right. Let me read some of the Cash Apps, some of the super chats, and then we got a lot to deep dive into. So let me give y'all a rundown of what this show is going to be about today, so you'll understand what we're going to get you through to your day. So the first thing that I want to talk about is sleeping with people on the job that you're not supposed to be a part of. We're going to get to that. The second thing that I'm going to deep dive into is Tim Walz did a press conference yesterday explaining why he's not seeking re-election. The third thing, we're going to move over into Venezuela. Marjorie Taylor Greene said that removing Maduro was not putting America first. And then we're going to go over to the lunch ladies on The View. They had a lot to say about the whole Venezuela thing. A lot of conflicting comments. And then we're going to move over to Seattle. So we got to start letting these liberal cities, highlighting the things that's happening in these liberal cities. They have an ordinance where they basically are not prosecuting nor are they arresting open-air drug users. And then we're going to get to the business and layoffs. General Motors is laying off, I think, 1,100 people. So we're going to deep dive into it. We got the money talk. We got the politics. We got the local stuff. We got a lot to get through today, all right? So I'm going to get y'all through y'all day. Hopefully y'all enjoy what we got going on. I'm looking at these packages that she's sending me. All right, we're going to get to that. Let me look at some of this. I got to acknowledge the people that support the platform. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Mike That Dude is in the building. Shout out to my guy, Mike That Dude. I appreciate you. Spencer Campbell, thank you to Spencer Campbell, says, good morning, AD and the Bag Chasers. Great show yesterday, and it's going to be an even better show today. Also want to acknowledge, they call me Mr. Bibbs, says, I just wanted to say thank you. I got you, Mr. Bibbs. Thank you. Chase Barnes says, happy Tuesday, AD and peeps. Ready to tackle these fraudulent fools today. I feel you. What's Bag Chasers? Mike Join, you do training, says Rich Company. I'm not going to sell you on it. I'm just going to tell you that Bag Chasers, we a group of people. Hold on one second. Let me turn this heat up. What's going on with the heat? The Bag Chasers is a group of us. We 20,000 strong as of the recording of this video. I'll tell you exactly how many of us it is. It is 20,437 of us. 20,437 of us. And so it's Patreon members, all right? But really, we a family. And the reason why we a family is because we have each other's best interests at heart. If you are a part of the Bag Chasers, make sure you tap into the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. It's on the video that I just dropped today. But we do meetups. We meet up in person. We party. We have a good time. We talk about different things that we network on the Discord. I drop exclusive videos just for them to see the behind the scenes of what I got going on in my life. And then we live stream. We talk about stocks. I show them everything that I know when it comes to breaking down the charts, which companies I'm invested in. I show them the behind the scenes of how much I make from a content creation perspective, as well as giving them insight on how they can improve their own content creation as well as marketing. I show them what I have going on from a real estate perspective. So I buy land, I buy property, I build on that, but I don't use any debt. I show them what I make from a business perspective when it comes to that and how I lease out my properties and how I strategize from a real estate perspective, how I limit the amount that I have to pay in taxes through my business investments, everything, really everything. So anything that you can think of when it comes to self-improvement, money improvement, so on and so forth, we get to it. We really, really get to it. So we basically are the best versions of ourselves. We include spirituality in it for those that's interested in that aspect of it. Um, it just is what it is. It is what it is. So we run it up, and I've never sold a course, but at the same time, if you want access to the information, then I think that it has to be a barrier to entry, and that's to keep the dusties out. It's just to keep the dusties out. All right? So that's that. Also, Enos Luby says, good day, AD. Great show last night. Today's win got my brand, and I've made millionaires. We've made a lot of people millionaires. We got a lot of people bags. We've got people through interview processes. We do a lot of live streams. So we got an upcoming live stream as soon as I get my schedule settled from traveling to Los Angeles to do these shows. So I give everybody the game. Say it with your legs, media trademark. Shout out to you, Enos Luby. Congratulations. Millions26 says, whatever happened to the quick hits intro and segment? Will it be back in 2026? It has such an official news broadcast vibe. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not going to I don't want to have the official news broadcast vibe. I want to have the professionalism of it, and that's why we're getting back into the studio. But I want to just be able to have a conversation with the people. This is the only platform outside of the Patreon publicly that I could just give my thoughts and give my insight on what I see happening in popular culture. So you said, am I doing no jumper this weekend? I am. It's one of the reasons that I'm going out to Los Angeles. All right. I just joined, looking forward to it all. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So, all right, y'all ready to get into the show? All right, let's get to it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Listen, when you say quick hits, I kind of already do quick hits. That's what I talk about when it comes to the local segments. I just make them a lot longer instead of making it really individual. You know what I'm saying? It allows for me to get my thoughts out without just trying to hurry up and get it out within 2 to 3 minutes. So we kind of already do it, but I just pick one or two and then I expound on what it is that we're talking about with that. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, then yeah, we already have it, but it's just not the whole background spinning and all of that type of stuff. All right. Anton, I'm watching from the other side of the world. I'm in Southeast Asia. I'm a passport king. Well, congratulations. Hopefully you're not out there to buy box and you out there to actually experience the culture. All right. All right. You ready for the profiling segment? Oh, all right. Let me see what I can do for y'all. Profiling. What do I have for profiling? Okay. Yeah, we can use the first beginning segment with the profiling. Never sleep with your employees on the job. Never sleep with your employees on the job. All right. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Detroit bus driver and her supervisor left a running city bus for a romantic rendezvous, leaving riders stuck and frustrated. This was just one of the issues uncovered in a new report from the Detroit Inspector General. The report says the two were caught being romantic during work hours multiple times, causing long delays. Noel Friel spoke with city leaders tonight. And Noel, this report claims management failed to investigate this properly.
Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. The Office of Inspector General found that supervisor and employee were having what it called romantic interactions both on the city bus and during working hours. But the even bigger problem, according to this report, is what happened after that relationship was discovered.
It started with an anonymous complaint back in June alleging that a senior transportation service inspector, Andre Reese, and bus driver Dana Ruff engaged in indecent activity on a city bus. An investigation by the Office of Inspector General uncovered video footage from May 6th showing the two fondling each other on a bus. It found Reese then...
All right, let's rewind it. Let's rewind it. Okay, I want to start over. I got to bring my city to the front of, not even my city, the people that are having good jobs in the city, we got to bring them to the front of the congregation. I want y'all to hear the full context of the story because I'm going to help you today. I'm going to help you.
Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. The Office of Inspector General found that supervisor and employee were having what it called romantic interactions both on the city bus and during working hours. But the even bigger problem, according to this report, is what happened after that relationship was discovered.
It started with an anonymous complaint back in June alleging that a senior transportation service inspector, Andre Reese, and bus driver Dana Ruff engaged in indecent activity on...
All right, let's start here. All right, let's start here. How many times I got to tell y'all that y'all can't do what y'all used to do? One of the things that we did on Frame Fights, and this is the reason why our movie reviews are so great. We went to oldies but goodies, and we started talking about this movie called Boomerang. Now, in the movie Boomerang, Marcus was like the office slut, all right? He basically slept with all of the hoes. He did what he wanted to do. He got promotions. He was willing to sleep his way to the top. They were having inter-office romance, but this was the 90s. You can get away with this in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. You can't get away with this now. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's a different time. It's a different time. I'm not even against people getting with people that they work with. That is one of the main ways that a lot of people met their spouses back in the day. In the 80s and the 90s and stuff, most of the time, that's the way that people found the person that they wanted to be with, is because it's the person that you spend the most of your time around. Let me also educate you on something. For those of you that may not be familiar, that's why Pop Pop didn't let his girl go to work. Y'all thought that they just wanted to keep these women as stay-at-home mothers. Listen, it's layers. And this is why they always say, Anton say, you got to add the context. You got to add the context. There's layers to this, all right? Back in the day, like way back in the day, women were purposeful, right? And so the level of effort that it took to run a household was huge. You had to actually wash the clothes on the little thing, the rack thing, and they had to wash out all of the stuff and the diapers. You couldn't go to the store and buy diapers. You had the cloth diapers. So they had to change the baby stuff and wash every single day and then hang it up on the clothesline, hoping that the weather is better. When you made food, you had to make the food from scratch. Like you had to go and get real apples and peel them. And when you made apple pie and cherry pie, that was an all-day task. And going to work with the kids and going to see the teachers and all of this stuff, you're talking about an environment that was a kill or be killed, harsh environment. The father will be out and about working, doing manual labor every single day. Right. You didn't just make clothes yourself. You sewed the clothes up whenever the kids got a hole in it. You learn how to do patching, all of that type of stuff. So all of that is over. All of that is gone, right? Because we've civilized the world to the point to where technology has allowed for us to progress in a way to where women don't have to do the same things that they used to do. So when you see a woman try to compare herself or she try to compare the situations or the relationships from yesteryear, And they say stuff like, well, you know, the women from yesteryear, they were stay-at-home mothers or whatever. It's not the same. You hit the button, throw the stuff in the dishwasher. Most of the time you get Instacart, get your groceries delivered. You don't even go to the store no more. Half the stuff you cook is already ready-made. The patties is already in one circle. You just throw it in there, throw some seasoning on it, and put some ketchup on it or some crap like that on the fries. And you say, voila. You don't even do 3-course meals anymore, right? You don't do none of that. Now, everything is simplified, streamlined, and the stuff that women used to do, they used to actually put labor in and they have more children. It's a much different environment. So when women say, well, I want to be a stay-at-home mother, and they're sitting there on TikTok talking about, yes, it's so hard and all of this stuff, I don't believe you. You need more people because you're not the same as the women of yesteryear. And that's why there were gender roles, because they figured out what was the best way for us to raise a household and create an environment that's conducive for our children, and it allowed for us to be able to survive. So when you see women today, it's a completely different dynamic. And when I see them whining, I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them because it's like, oh, you just want to be a lazy chick. You drinking wine, you sitting at the crib, you sleeping all day, you're not doing nothing, and you expect for this guy to basically carry 100% of the load. No, go and get a job, be purposeful, because you don't have no kids, you don't need to be a stay-at-home chick, and you need to figure out how to add value into the household, because you don't have to do the same things that they used to do in yesteryear. That's the first layer. The second layer is, well, part of the reason why when we start to civilize the world and women started getting into the workforce and feminism started to take over, you still had a huge segment of women that was staying at home, being stay-at-home mothers. Now, some of the guys, especially in the white couples, a lot of the families, the mother would still be purposeful, but the job that she would get would be like becoming a teacher, right? Becoming a preschool teacher or something. A lot of times she followed her children through school. So she would add value into the community while at the same time bringing in resources and actually doing something and being a teacher, right? Those type of professions, but it wasn't so that we can depend on her income. The income was extra and that was good, but it was because she wanted to add purpose, because it was much easier than what it used to be back in the day when you had to do a lot more physical things to fix the household or patch in clothes or all of that. Technology had advanced enough to where women could start to go into the workforce and still be purposeful, right? But one of the reasons why men didn't allow for women to do men's jobs wasn't just because women wasn't as physically capable. It was because the people that you spend the majority of your time with, especially when you don't have big discipline, is the ones that you wind up busting down. That's when you started to have an explosion of affairs, office romances, a man's assistant, the person that, you know, would be in the office, his executive assistant, would be the woman that really, she knew the wife's birthday. She took care of all of the gifts. She made sure that his calendar was together, and she was given a good bust down, you know, when was needed. The executive assistant often at times was an extension. That was really one of the first side chicks. One of the first real side chicks were the executive assistant. And interestingly enough, they still had purpose. They wasn't just there for the bust down. They was there working. They was taking care of business. And the executives, the ones that got to the top of the food chain, wherever they went, they took their executive assistant with them. They didn't just leave. They leave and negotiated a package for the executive assistant. And she would get raises and she would get promotions along with him going out and getting a different position. Y'all, this is the type of show that y'all like, is that Anton is old enough to understand it, and I'm going to teach it to you while relating it back to why we look at things differently in popular culture today. That was the executive assistant. The executive assistant's role was to basically be an extension of him in a professional manner, but then she also busted down for a real one. But men usually kept women out of the workforce because women going into the workforce messed up the bag because it got people all out of pocket. So that's why nowadays, you know, a nigga get a little bit of money and a supervisor, he work in the plant, he the bus driver, supervisor and stuff. Guess what he gonna do? Guess what happens when he doesn't have big discipline? Busting it down on the job. Busting it down on the job. You know why? Because he don't know how to keep things running. He don't know how to have things flowing. He gonna give special privileges. He gonna do all of this stuff. And so along with the women's rights and the Me Too and all of the visibility and the easy accusations to having you crash out, and this is one of the reasons why, because the environment is different now, you also messing up the money, messing up the numbers, the productions, the routes is messed up, and people can see it. People can see it. So we let a little bit of a title, a little bit of power go to our head. Now all of a sudden, you messing with her, you busting her down on the bus. The routes is stopping. People can't catch the bus in the morning to get to their job because you so focused on this funky hoe. And she on the gram, she on Instagram and Twitter posing. Now the rest of the bus drivers are stressed out. They dealing with stuff. They trying to, you know, the environment is kicking their ass. The riders, she keep getting on, but she get the easiest routes. She get the easiest routes. Her clothes is nice and regular. She got her filters popping. She get all of the overtime without actually working no overtime. And this is why it kind of started messing up, is because you start messing up the money. She fit the profile, prototype. Soon as she walk in, fuck up the plant. Everybody in the plant trying to fuck her. Everybody in the warehouse trying to bust it down for a real one. This woman will be fooled at Chrysler. The Warren trucking plant, that ain't nothing but one big club. Ain't one big club. This woman is fooled. So as soon as he seen her, probably flirted a little bit, she gave him a little motion. Now she get all of the benefits. They flirting in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, she having the exact same shifts as him, no matter what shift he go to. And that's why you see what's happening every time.
On a city bus. An investigation by the Office of Inspector General uncovered video footage from May 6th showing the two fondling each other on a bus. It found Reese then reported an unsubstantiated mechanical issue with the bus, took the bus out of commission, and took Ruff to a fast food restaurant, disrupting service for 115 minutes. On May 20th, it says Reese and Ruff
disrupting service for 115 minutes. And for those of us that see students, that's 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. So you took the bus out of service because you wanted to get some box at night. A 2 hour, and that's in addition to lunch, that's in addition to everything else. You took the bus out of commission because you had to get some box. You had boxolitis to the highest core. And you couldn't wait. You couldn't put things in motion. You took the bus out of 2 hours. Niggas are standing at the bus stop. It's cold outside. They trying to get to work. Everything is late. Probably got to call an Uber, spend the extra money. And this is why. The problem with society isn't the buses. It isn't funding. It isn't any of that. You know what it is? It's people. It's people. It's the reason why things don't go right. You fall asleep on the bus, crash and kill people. That's why they got robotics and AI coming to replace all of y'all, because he can't keep his dick in his pants long enough to keep the bus routes running.
again met up multiple times during Ruff's route and at one point abandoned the bus while it was still running. That day, DDOT received a complaint via a customer assistance form about the abandoned bus, but Inspector General Kamal Marable says leadership didn't investigate it properly.
We found out that the supervisors who were responsible for dealing with this type of issue were very lenient in their response to it.
DDOT Superintendent Howard Bragg classified their actions as a Class 4 offense, which would normally be punishable by a 30-day suspension followed by termination. Instead, he gave them both 5-day suspensions. Marable says he never reviewed the video footage of the two inside the bus.
Now guess what you did? You know what you just did? You know what you just did? You messed up everybody else's bag. Because somebody was lenient on you, and this is the trickle-down effect or the trickle-up effect. Now, your supervisors that was supposed to be reviewing you gave you a break, but because this is a different environment, right? This is using public dollars, taxpayer money, all of that stuff. You tried to be nice and just give them a 5-day suspension each. Somebody found out and said, nah, we're going to investigate this further. Guess what happens? Now, they're more focused on the people that suspended you or the people that discipline you, and they probably going to get in trouble and lose their job. And it all started from what? A blue-haired girl that came in. You couldn't keep your dick in your pants because you was going to mess up the money. And see, this is the thing. Again, I'm not the type of person that's going to sit here and tell you that you shouldn't bust it down for a real one. I'm not that guy, right? I'm not going to tell you, don't mess with the hoes, all right? What I am going to tell you is don't mess up the money. If it ever in any way, shape, or form results in you having to mess up the money, that's where we draw the line. We don't fumble bags under no circumstances. You messing up the money for you. You messing up her money. She probably got to go to her man and have a conversation about why she got fired. And it's the people on top of you. Now you putting them at a disadvantage and you messing up their money. And let me tell you something. The one thing is for sure, and the two things is for certain. If it's got to be me or you going home, boy. You going home. If I can cut you a break, and I think that we can make it work, I'll cut you a break. You might have to do some favors. You owe me one. But if my job is on the line, and especially when you're talking about taxpayer company dollars, salaries be public, Information Act, you can pull that, all of that. Now, if you own your own company or all of that type of stuff, it's different. You know what I'm saying? If you're dealing with a private company, it's slightly different still there, right? But when you're talking about you messing up the money, you gonna get me fired, and they gonna be tougher on me because I wasn't tough on you. So now I gotta fire both of y'all because you couldn't keep your dick in your pants. That's really what this is.
For some reason, this individual only chose to review the footage basically from outside of the bus and not the full interaction. So we found that very problematic.
The Office of the Inspector General is now recommending discipline for Bragg and the DDOT Assistant Director, additional consequences for Reese and Ruff, as well as policy reform and enhanced training for DDOT leadership.
The real victims in this were the citizens who were waiting on buses that did not come on time because you had individuals who did not take their job and their responsibility seriously.
And in a statement, Executive Director of Transit Robert Kramer said DDOT is already implementing some of those recommendations, saying in part, quote, "We will ensure that employee disciplinary actions align with the city's human resource standards and improve processes to prevent discipline not being applied appropriately in the future." DDOT will submit a response to the Office of Inspector General by January 23rd. Reporting live, Noelle Friel, Local 4.
Okay, keep us posted, Noelle. Thank you for your report this evening.
We could have prevented all of this from happening if you would have just had a level of dig discipline and not messed up the money. We could have prevented all of this from happening if you would have had a level of dig discipline and not messed up the money. Most things can be fixed. Most things can be resolved. But the minute that people start losing money I guarantee you that everything is going to change. Everybody is going to change. Everything is going to change, and nothing is going to be the same. Friendships get lost. Wages are lost. New explanations. When you start messing up the money, that is when everything starts to change. Now, we got to have a different type of conversation. You preventing people from being able to get to and from where they need to go, all of that. Most things can be resolved. Most things. When you start messing up the money, though, that's when everything goes to hell. It goes on everywhere, Eric D. It goes on in hospitals, casinos, plants, politics, everything. Everything. Airlines, airplanes, stewardess, pilots, you name it, it happens. Walmart, supervisor at Walmart giving people extra credit. Yeah, that's why when I worked in corporate America, guess what I did? I did my job and I went home. I did all of the stuff that I was supposed to do as far as like the extras, the outings and all of that stuff. But the one thing I always, I don't give a fuck how bad you are. I don't care how powerful I am. One thing for sure and the two things is for certain. You was never going to fire me for messing up the money when it came to the hoes, because there was always going to be another hoe. You was never going to be able to fix my career. As much as I've had boxelitis throughout my life, I always like my money better. I always like my position better. I always like my benefits better. I always like being able to provide for my daughter better. You ain't gonna mess up my money under no circumstances. Your box ain't even remotely good enough to mess up my money. And I don't care how much money I make. Nothing stops the money. Nothing. Nothing and nobody. At all. All right? When in doubt, check your pay stub and ask yourself, do I like my car? Do I like my home? Do I like taking vacations? Do I like my daughter being able to go to private school? When in doubt, check your pay stub and then make a decision. Make a decision. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, tell me your notifications. Because I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it real. You got to find a way to get to that money, bro. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says the true definition of a bust down. Facts. Top notch Rocker says good morning, AD in the chat family. AD, if your spouse stay home, then the milkman or maintenance man is going to hit it. Listen, bro. There is no milkman anymore, number one. There are no maintenance people anymore, number two. But number three, if you got to try to stop her from having sex with somebody else, then she not yours anyway. Y'all got to stop trying to prevent women from being women. You just going to have to understand the nature of them, right? And then adjust accordingly. If she's going to do what she going to do, you think that her staying home is going to be the thing that stop her? When you figure out what it is, you just get rid of it and you move on with your life. Not about to trip over no chick. Oh, man, listen, I can't let my chick stay home. What you think, that she not going to be fucking on a job? She got a better chance of busting it down on lunch break than she do at worrying about milkman and maintenance man. Come on, man, stop, bro. Listen, it's always going to be people. It's always going to be access. It's always going to be opportunity. If she not loyal, she not loyal. Let her go. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. All right, let's move on. Yoli James says this dynamic still exists today. I know of many C-suite execs who have married or had affairs with their assistants at work. Yeah. Because we still got dicks, don't we? Off topic, says the Great Way, but I'm flying to Atlanta next week to play Oregon for an MLK birthday service. And, every speech will be about Trump. So why am I going? Because we don't fumble the bag. Get your money, King. Get your money, King. Surprised she not saying this essay to save herself. Well, you can't say that when you actually are on camera. When they pull the cameras, they can actually see what's really happening. All right? Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications. Let's pivot for a minute. I think that we should pivot for a minute. And where I want to pivot to is we talked about Tim Walz. We broke that yesterday when it first came out. But now I want to deep dive a little bit more into it because he actually had a press conference and he spoke on it at length. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications.
Years, an organized group of criminals have sought to take advantage of this state's generosity. And even as we make progress in the fight against the fraudsters, we now see an organized group of political actors seeking to take advantage of a crisis. I don't want to mince words here. Donald Trump and his allies in Washington and in St. Paul and online want to make our state a colder, meaner place. They want to poison our people against each other by attacking our neighbors. And ultimately, they want to take away much of what makes Minnesota the best place in the country to raise a family. They've already begun trying to withhold funds that were meant to help families afford child care. And they have no intention of stopping there. Make no mistake, we should be concerned about fraud in our state government. We cannot effectively deliver programs and services if we can't earn the public's trust. That's why over the past few years, we've made systemic changes in the way we do business. We've gone to the legislature time and time again to get more tools to combat fraud. We've hired people we fired people who weren't doing their jobs. We've seen people go to jail for stealing from our state. We've cut off whole streams of funding in partnership with the federal government, where we saw widespread criminal activity. We've put new locks on the doors of our remaining programs, and we've hired a new head of program integrity to make sure that those locks can't be broken. All across this state, Minnesotans are hard at work on this problem. Advocates, administrators, investigators are on the front lines defending the integrity of our state's programs.
And for whatever reason, they couldn't even identify that it said Leering Center instead of Learning Center. It only took one YouTuber with a camera to go in and find the things that all of y'all spent billions and millions of dollars to hire your friends and family and continue to conceal fraud to figure out. That all he had to do was go and talk to a couple different people that have been paying attention to the fact that none of these children or none of these places had real children that was going into it on a regular basis. And not only that, home health care, feed the children, daycares, all across the board. So they are over there lobbying legislature and doing all of this stuff. But in the meantime, it's probably closer to $100 billion in fraud if you really take over the time that it took, that they've been doing it. And they just been finessing and finessing and finessing and finessing. A YouTuber with an iPhone, facts. Super chats got me broke. A YouTuber with an iPhone was able to figure out what all of these people that they were lobbying for additional dollars to combat fraud figured out. And this is Trump's fault. Trump's fault. Not a lack of responsibility on your part, not accountability on your part. It's Trump's fault. Trump's fault for discovering the fraud, not your fault for not being able to manage your state effectively, where somehow, some way, billions of dollars just was walking out the door every single month. I got a question. And this is for the ladies, because I can't seem to wrap my brain around this one thing. This is what my question is. How much per year does it cost to run a daycare? Ladies, I need to know this. Please give me some insight. How much per year does it cost to run a daycare? Per year. Per year. Okay, so you say 300 to 500,000 easy. 300 to 500,000. Okay, so K Cooper came with a bigger number. K Cooper says $500,000 to $1 million. Your car says it varies depending on the amount of kids and the regulation. Fair enough. All logical answers. Let's estimate high. Let's go with K Cooper's number and let's say $500,000 to $1 million. These people were getting 1.9, 2.9, 2.8, 2.7, $1.8 million a year per daycare. Now, I can't see the true cost being anywhere close to $1 million. Even if you have a certain number of kids, the additional costs that come with those kids, let's say you rent, right? Let's say you rent for the facility, which is not a lot at all, and food, and then you got labor. There's no way in the world that you're going to convince me that the costs, even if you pay your people handsomely well, and even when you're paying a lot in rent because you need a lot of square footage, no way in the world that you're going to convince me that it costs even close to $1 million in costs to run a daycare. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. Said Gemini says 250,000 on average. Okay, so why are they getting $2 million and $3 million a year to run daycares? That's what I'm trying to understand. I agree. Why are taxpayers even paying for childcare? Take care of your own kids by having a man that provides. But see, again, this is one of the ways that they tie you to the federal government. This is a Democrat strategy to break up the household. I haven't even gotten to that part yet. I plan on getting to that tomorrow. One of the reasons why they incentivize so much is because it is their strategy to continue to break up the household because it's too much money not to do it. We are paying for people that can't pay and continue to have children and have daycares, and we're overpaying for it. Somebody said maybe they claim they have special needs children in the facility. Oh, that's even easier. That's even easier because the special needs children, they just be chilling. It's the regular kids that you got to worry about. The special needs children, they just be chilling. I ain't going to do no imitations today. New leaf, new year, new me. I'm thinking about it, and I'm laughing at the very joke that I'm doing inside of my mind. But I don't feel like getting no emails from y'all whining. Anton, my kid is on the spectrum. That joke wasn't funny to me, but it's funny to the rest of us. I'm laughing in my head at the joke that I told to myself that I'm not going to tell to you. Let's get back to hey. Oh. Oh. Oh man, I need to take my multivitamin. Something is wrong with me. Where the multivitamin at, man? Give me my multivitamin. I'm over here cracking up. I just want to say a little bit of it. That's all I want to say. I don't want to say the whole thing. Come on, Anton. You got to do better. Sponsor said that I shouldn't be telling those type of jokes. Trying to be a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do the right thing. Oh, man. Let's continue.
And I want to give a very heartfelt thank you to all of them. There is more to do. A single taxpayer dollar wasted on fraud should be intolerable. And while there's a role to play for everyone, from the legislature to prosecutors to insurance companies to local and county government, the buck does stop with me. My administration has been taking fast, decisive action to solve this crisis. We'll win the fight against the fraudsters. But the political gamesmanship we're seeing from Republicans is only making that fight harder. We've got Republicans here in the state legislature playing hide and seek with potential whistleblowers. We've got conspiracy theorist right-wing YouTubers breaking into our daycares, demanding access to our children. We've got the president
breaking into our daycares. Breaking in to daycares. Conspiracy theory, right-wing YouTubers breaking into Stop. You know, one of the reasons why I love my job so much is because I can openly talk about the bullshit, and I can talk about the things that other people don't feel comfortable talking about because they gonna get fired on their job. They're gonna get fired on your job. You can't say this out loud because you got to worry about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and people automatically getting offended. I could say the real thing out loud, and I could say this is 100% BS. 100% BS. Stop, bro.
Of the United States demonizing our Somali neighbors and wrongfully confiscating funds that Minnesotans rely on. It's disgusting and it's dangerous. Republicans are playing politics with the future of this state. It's shameful. And I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. We welcome ideas from anyone, in any party, from any walk of life,
Lies.
who wants to help us continue to stay ahead of these criminals. And we welcome the involvement of the federal government. I am grateful to the career professionals at the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI who have been helping us fight this fight for years.
Lies.
But I cannot abide the actions of the political leadership in Washington. These opportunists are willing to hurt our people to score cheap points. They and their allies have no intention of helping us solve this problem, and every intention of trying to profit off of it. Which brings me to this. 2026 is an election year. Election years have a way of ramping up the politics at a time when we simply can't afford more of that in Minnesota. In September, I announced that I would seek a historic third term as Minnesota's governor, and I have every confidence that if I gave it my all, we would win the race. But as I reflect on this moment with my family and my team over the holidays, I came to the conclusion that I can't give a political campaign my all. Every minute that I spend defending my own political interest would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who want to prey on our differences. So I've decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
So it's not about defending taxpayers from criminals. It's about defending criminals from us taxpayers. That's really what he's telling us.
I'm passing on this race with zero sadness and zero regret.
Cap.
I did not run for this job to have the job. I ran for the job to do the job.
Cap.
Minnesota faces enormous challenges this year, and I refuse to spend a single minute doing anything other than rising to meet this moment. Minnesota has always come first and always will. That's what I believe servant leadership demands of me. As an optimist, I'll hold out some hope that my friends on the other side of the aisle will consider what servant leadership demands of them in the moment. We can work together to combat against the criminals. We can work together to rebuild the public's trust and make our state stronger. But make no mistake about it, if Republicans continue down the path of abusing power, smearing entire communities, and running their own fraudulent game at the expense of Minnesotans, I will fight back with everything that I have. I am absolutely confident a Democratic and a DFLer will hold this seat come November. I'm confident that I'll find ways to contribute to the state that I love long after next January. But there'll be time to worry about all that later. Today, I'm proud of the work we've done to make Minnesota America's best place to live and raise kids. From our new paid leave policy to our child tax credit to our school lunch programs feeding every single child. And I'm doubly proud of the incredible team we put together to make this vision a reality. I want to take a moment to thank every member of my staff, to every single state employee who has been part of this fight. Now more than ever, I need you on the job. I need you to help work together to tackle the important work in front of us. And most of all, I want Minnesotans to know how grateful I am for the opportunity to serve this state, for the privilege that I have been given to serve in this office. I'm on the job. I'm focused on making sure that we stay America's best place to live and raise kids. No one will take that away from us. I'm proud of the way we treat our neighbors. I'm proud of the way that we welcome people to this state. I'm proud of the way that we innovate. And I'm proud of the way that we are optimists for the future. No one's taking this away from us. Not the fraudsters. Certainly not this president. Not on my watch.
Trump crushed everybody. One by one. One by one. He is crushing everything and everybody. Absolutely destroyed Kamala Harris's legacy. Absolutely destroyed Tim Walz. Nick Shirley did a number on this. Listen, I'm not really sure that there has been a person that I can name in recent memory who came to prominence that we weren't paying attention to and had a faster fall than Tim Walz. I can't think of anybody. I've seen people have a much greater fall, but I have never seen anybody have such a meteoric rise and such a fast fall. Not anybody that's major. In the span of less than a year, Tim Walz went from noticeable to the poster child for incompetence as a leader. Nah, not Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani, it took some time, bro. Rudy Giuliani actually was celebrated by a lot of people over in New York City. I have never seen a person, a politician on a national level, get crushed like this. Because most of the time, listen, Tim Walz was banking on the idea that if they didn't become president and vice president of the United States of America, then he would always be able to come back to his job and run Minnesota, Minneapolis, and the extra visibility would ensure that he still had his position. I have never seen anybody fall this fast. Not like did like this and then like this right after that. I've never seen a politician get taken down by a major politician getting taken down by a YouTuber. This has got to be a first in history. This has to be a first in history that a YouTuber took down visibly, right? Because we can affect elections. We can swing them. We can swing states left or right. We can swing them red or blue, but directly impacting the ability for you to run for a governor again. I don't think I've ever seen this before. This is unprecedented. Honestly, I have never seen a content creator take down a governor. Never seen a content creator take down a governor in my life. What a time to be alive. Make sure you guys, bro, he was just possibly, I mean, not saying that they would have won because I predicted that it was going to be a landslide victory for the Trump administration anyway, but the possibility was there for him to be vice president of the United States of America. He could have been J.D. Vance. He could have been possibly J.D. Vance. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. We living in crazy times. In 2026, the start of the year, we see Trump take down. I think it's going to be an interesting year. 2026 is going to be more wild than 2025. I guarantee it, and I'm going to be here for it too. I'm going to be here for it. I think that 2026, man, I ain't even going to try to predict what's going to happen. I know it's a election year, mid-cycle elections, midterm elections, and we going to get a bag on that. And every time that we see a politician do something stupid, it's beneficial for us. It absolutely is beneficial for us. So I'm not complaining. I think that it's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to it. And we going to get there. But make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. It's going to be a hell of a year. All right, let me read some of these super chats, and we're going to get over to the next part of the show. Let's get Timmy Tim off our screen. Jack Covington says the personal trainer is the new milkman. Well, personal trainers be busting down all of them chicks. So, hey, look, it's Tim Fraud, says Chase Barnes. Listen, let me go back to the whole personal trainer conversation. Y'all just gonna have to deal with whatever comes along with it. You just listen. I say this. I trust you to do whatever it is that you're gonna do. I trust you to do whatever it is that you're gonna do. Like, if you're willing to risk it all, then I'm willing to let you go. Get a good prenuptial agreement. If you're starting to get money, get a good postnuptial agreement, and then make moves and just keep living your life. And when you catch it or when you start to suspect it, don't ignore it. And if you catch it, then deal with it accordingly. But look, you can't waste your life waiting on something to happen to you. Oh yeah, Jamaica says, AD, I love you, bro. As a bag chaser, my portfolio is booming. And I use all your talking points. Can we please close shows with a prayer to seal all of the info? If I remember, I'm going to definitely do it. I promise you I will. Chance M says, off topic, I'm working 60 hours on a night shift but keep getting sick. How did you run up a bag working 100 hours plus a week? Shit, I work 100 hours right now. Ain't nothing different. Ain't nothing changed. What you mean, how did I run up a bag? So you saying that you're getting sick. Are you getting sick from a lack of sleep deprivation? Are you getting sick because your immune system? How are you getting sick? What do you mean by getting sick? Are you tired? Are you rest broken? What does that look like? Yes, your diet is going to play a role. Sleep is going to play a role. Honestly, it sounds like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like you trying to still have a life after it. I'm going to be honest with you, Chance. This life is not for everybody. And the reason why this life is not for everybody is because everybody is not willing to give up having a life in order to be super successful. Everybody is not willing to give up having a life so that you can then have a life. A lot of times people they want to try to balance it. You still want a girlfriend. You still trying to focus on family. You still trying to make sure that you're there for people. You're trying to do all of this other stuff, and then you can't sleep. Really, let me tell you what this life is like for the people that really don't understand. For most of the time, especially when you're building it from the ground up, before you start to get motion. Most of it is work, sleep, eat, and then you try to get a workout in. It's work, sleep, eat. That's it. Work, sleep, eat, work, sleep, eat. So you're gonna have to start finding satisfaction because you gotta try to sleep as much as you can when you can sleep. And so you gotta start to try to find, and it's not for everybody, it's not gonna be fun. And that's why everybody not gonna be able to be successful. And that's cool. In order to have a life, you're gonna have to be able to sacrifice not having a life. That's really what it comes down to, seriously. It's really what it comes down to. Yesterday, I woke up in the morning, and y'all gonna see it on the Patreon anyway, because I recorded the whole thing. Yesterday, I woke up in the morning, and I prayed, brushed my teeth, went to the gym for 20 minutes, came back, and got to work. All right? I immediately got on my computer, and I worked on my computer until it was time to come to the studio. I got to the studio, and I live streamed, and then I got a phone call from BMW that the car had just got in that I ordered for my daughter for Christmas. It's a BMW M3 Competition X Drive. Cost me $127,000 with all of the extra packages and everything, right? So I called your car and I said, your car. I said, I'm gonna have to shelf the stuff that I was working on until after I get this other stuff done, because I gotta focus on doing other stuff first. And then I'm gonna send you the things that I need to send you so that we can take care of this business. But right now I gotta focus on this other thing. I gotta shift responsibilities. And then I'm gonna head over to the dealership because I gotta go pick up my daughter. Then we gotta go to the dealership, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get that taken care of. And then we go from there. So I head straight to the dealership. I canceled going to the Pistons game. I was supposed to go to the Pistons game yesterday. I put my tickets up for sale, sold my tickets, went to the dealership because I knew that after I got from the dealership that I was going to have to go back and do the work that I wasn't able to do, that I was supposed to do at the time that I went to the dealership. That's what I was going to do in order to make sure that I had time to go to the game. Still had to prepare for the night stream. So I had to go and take care of the stuff for the night stream and get all that together. Then I went to the dealership, signed up for my daughter to get the car. First, I had to go to the bank. I did. So I only had a certain amount of money because I gave them a deposit. I had a certain amount of money because I gave her a deposit. I had already put a bunch of money down on the deposit, so I had to go and go and take care of the difference. So I had to go get the rest of the money, make a couple different withdrawals, wire some money over to her too, and then pay the difference. And so I had to take out 40, really 80 grand. And then I wound up taking out 120 total. So I wound up taking out 120 total. And then I went and got a cashier's check. And you'll see that. You'll see that on the, man, what is up with the camera? Why is it so blurry? Wound up taking out a cashier's check. And so I paid the whole car in total. And then I came right back down here and I started working immediately. And I finished preparing for the show. And then I sent your car over to the stuff. And then I worked until 2 o'clock in the morning. So from the time that I woke up to the time till 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I was back up at 6 this morning. And then I was back up at 6 this morning. Got off of the live stream at around 1 something in the morning, took a shower, got in the bed, went to sleep by around 2 o'clock, woke back up at 6 o'clock in the morning, made sure that I got the Patreon video out for y'all, got some stuff prepared, made sure I did some clips, came in, started immediately streaming as soon as I walked in. As soon as I walked into the studio, and then I'm gonna work in the studio after I get done streaming from about 1:30 up until about 7. And then I'm gonna shoot out at 7. I'm gonna go out to dinner with my chick. That's my quality time. I'm gonna spend some time at dinner with my chick from about 7 to about 8:30. And then I get right back into it. And then I'm preparing to stream tonight at about 10 o'clock. From about 10 o'clock to about 2 o'clock in the morning. That's what it takes. But then, here's the caveat to that. Then I don't go to sleep when I get off of the live stream at 3 o'clock in the morning. Because now I have to prepare because I know I got a flight Wednesday afternoon because I got to go over to the West Coast. So because I got a 4.5, 5-hour flight over to the West Coast, I got to make sure that everything is taken care of so that things are going according to plan while I'm on the plane. And then you got to schedule in quality time. You got to schedule in being able to go to the show and watch movies for Sunday. You got to schedule in the fact that you got to go and do multiple different interviews. You got to account for the different time zone changes. You don't stop. You don't stop. And so I am a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation. And you sleep on the plane. It's not enough hours in a day. I wish it was. If I can get 30 hours in a day, I would be able to get more done. And it's go, 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 go. And the whole time, I'm talking in front of the camera. I'm talking to the people. I'm giving game. I'm preparing for live streams on the Patreon. I'm showing receipts, meetings with accountants, lawyers, bookkeepers, all of that stuff. So now your focus changes because your focus changes to, okay, I need to change my diet. I need to change my schedule. I need to change the roles and the responsibilities of the people that surround me. Why? The reason that you do that is because you have to create time for yourself. That's why for people that have resources, time is more important than money because the money is easy. Finding the time is much more meaningful. That's why people take first class flights. That's why people take private flights. That's why people get certain cars. That's why people hire people in their life. It's not because they doing it for luxury purposes. That's some rapper shit. Rappers do this dumb shit. Business people value quality of life and time more because they have very few of it. They have little of it. That's why I'm not about to ride in a 1987 Honda Accord. Because when I get into the nav, I can throw on Blue Cruise and it's easier for me to be able to get stuff done and I can sit back and relax because I know that the car is going to drive me. I'll pay extra for that. It's the reason why when I'm flying over to the West Coast, I don't look at seats the same because I'm like, man, why would I be cramped up next to two people with my shoulders sticking in? I need to be able to sleep comfortably because I know that I had to do an all-nighter and I need to be able to get sufficient rest that night. That's why I'm willing to book a private flight, because I need to save some time and not go through TSA and just pull up straight at the clearport. That's why I hire project managers. That's why I hire editors, is because it gives me more time to be able to do the things that I need to do in order to be successful. Somebody says copping a $120,000 car. Oh no, that's my daughter's car. That's not my car. That's my daughter's car. My cars are a lot more expensive than that. I'm not even gonna cap. My daily is around 120, 130. But those are my daughter's cars. That's not my car. My cars are a little bit different. When I order something custom, she's not even 18 yet. So it's a little bit different. And I don't expect for you to understand, because your kids are never going to have that type of thing. Your kids will never, ever be able to experience the love and the comfort that my kid will ever experience. My kid won't look at stuff the same as your kid. Somebody will be able to present your kid with something and they'll go for it because they're not used to nothing. My kid is going to be a little bit different. They're used to it. So she looks for different things in people, like integrity, spirituality. She values people different because her daddy already got that. So no boy can come into her life and say something to her or be able to focus on things that don't matter, because she already experienced that. So my kid is different. It's a different experience for my kid. I know that, your kid is gonna have to go to work every day and work at Wendy's and shit like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I believe that the generations before me have already made that sacrifice. I made that sacrifice so that my child don't have to do that. My child should be living in luxury. My child shouldn't have to deal with the same thing that I deal with or that I dealt with. She's not gonna go through the same thing that I went through. Now, my stuff that I order is way different. It's a completely different thing. Like, I don't order the same thing that my daughter order, because I'm in a different zone. You know what I'm saying? So I know I got something to pick up in, is it May or June? Is it May or June? Let me see. Price summary, equipment, page 1, 2026. Yeah, that's what mine is. That's the cost of mine. So my numbers is a little different than my daughter's numbers. I know that means a lot to you, 120,000. I piss that shit. I pay my employees 120,000 a year. So it's a little different for me. I just want to make sure that we level set in 2026. I don't want you to be confused about who you talking to and when you talking to them. I don't look at $120,000 as money. I look at that as like, that's what my daughter rocking with. That's my daughter's money. I see we gonna do the same thing we've been doing last year, huh? Is that what we doing? Same thing what we was doing last year? Okay. All right. Well, I got you. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notification. When you watching this, make sure you turn it down so your girl don't hear what we talking about. All right. When you watching this, make sure you turn the volume down so that your girl don't hear what we talking about. I don't want her to start looking at you different, like, what the fuck is going on over here? You like that nigga that was saying that he couldn't take her to New Year's Eve in New York. Turn the volume down. Make sure she know, hey, don't watch. Listen. I'm not kidding you. I get messages all day long from women that are pissed off that I gave their guy a game and now he leveled up, or from men that are mad because they girls are watching the show. I know you don't think it's... I don't usually do this, but I'm going to show you. This one is from Hannah. Hannah says, your videos are turning my boyfriend into a horrible person. This was yesterday. I hate you. You're ruining our life together. So I responded to Hannah. This is on Instagram. I like to check my Instagram messages occasionally. I responded to Hannah and I said, yeah, sounds like he's no longer wanting to be a simp for you. And he's becoming a real man. Tell him congratulations. And then I also left another message at the bottom and I said, oh yeah. Oh, hold on, let me see. And I said, I hate you more. And then I gave her the kissy face. I said, I hate you more too. I'm going to return the same energy that you give me. I get messages and DMs and text messages. Y'all be reaching out to my girl a lot of times. You seen Anton out in the streets with another chick. You seen Anton at the game with another chick. You seen Anton on TV like this. And what the fuck you think? You think that changes anything? I see you simp ass niggas that be in her DMs trying to send her pictures. Y'all be sending all of the chicks that be on my panel pictures. See why you even mess with Anton. You can't stop shit that I got going on. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. I am going to fuck your girl and I'm going to change her life and she's never going to look at it the same. And you don't have the same ability to do that to me. That's the difference between me and you. I don't give a fuck. I am going to change everybody's life. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And the more that you reach out to me and the more that you make me angry, the more that I'm going to do what it is that I do. I'm going to fix the gas so that they're not simping and that they become the best version of themselves, which then is going to push pressure on you as a woman to either level up or lose the nigga because you was never supposed to have him in the first place. And for the dudes that is whining and complaining and keep on sending messages and emails and hate stuff and trying to get everything jammed up, nothing changes. I'm going to do everything that I want to do and nobody is going to stop me. Nobody leaves me. Nobody stops. Nobody stops messing with me. None of that type of stuff. I'm not the same as you. This is what we doing in 2026. Let me go ahead and give y'all the interlude. So what I would suggest you do is focus more on you and level up. Level up. And I'm a fucker for free too. Like, it's not going to cost me. I'm not going to spend no money on her. I'm not going to take her to dinner. I'm not going to do none of that. I'm going to bust her down for free. And she going to sign the paperwork. And she volunteers herself as tribute. She just want to be a part of the team. And I don't blame her. Because who wouldn't want to be a part of the team? We winners. Who don't want to be a part of the team? I'm a winner. And she ain't never seen no dick like mine before. Big dick time, that's what I am. Girthy, crazy. I'm rich, I got a big dick, I got game. I love God. What else you want from me? What's she gonna do? She gonna leave me? Take a chance on you? Lil D? You're Lil D. I'm Big D. Rich with a big D. Broke with a little D. You think that they would leave me for you? Why would she ever do that? That's dumb. Leveling down? Women don't level down. Why would you level down? Why would you level down? Make sure you hit a like. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Y'all ready to continue on with the show? I am faithful. How can you prove that I'm not? How can you prove that I'm not? I am faithful. Who said that I wasn't faithful? Prove that I'm not. Find somebody that says that I'm not. When you find a woman that is willing to go public and say, yep, Anton isn't, then I'll concede. But until you are, then I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I'm just talking shit. Maybe I'm just creating content because it's fun to talk junk to people that have ADS. Who knows? Who knows? Prove it. Prove that I'm not, and then I'll concede. I ain't never seen nobody. I've been on the internet for over 12 years. I ain't seen nobody say nothing negative about me. Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. That's what you get for being nosy. Always trying to check to see what I got going on. I'm good over here. We straight. We good. They got ADS is crazy, Williams. Crazy. You could at least take my girl to dinner now. I'm sending her home hungry. 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 Look, it's always a man. Look, check it out. Hold on. Always somebody, and this nigga supposed. Oh, that's a woman. Is that a woman kissing? Who knows? Could be a trans person. Who knows? Anyways, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Great content. Let me read the rest of these super chats. Manny Plays PC says, nah, I don't like this, Anton. Go ahead and show us what the special needs kids be like. I'm not doing it. Hangman TV Mountie says, just curious, even the news drops positive news from time to time. Will you ever drop a day's worth of positive news? Nope. If you want to go watch positive news, I talk about getting money and I talk about what's happening in popular culture. The most positive news that happened this week was, he want me to drop a day's worth. The most positive news that happened this week was Venezuelans being freed from Maduro. That's a week's worth of positive news in itself. Listen. Why don't y'all, this is what I'm asking myself. Then we're going to get back to the show because I got a lot to cover. Why are y'all telling me what I should do? I think y'all should just go watch other people that you think is more entertaining than me. I think you should go and watch other people that are more entertaining than me in the morning. Listen, I wouldn't even trip about it. I'm not begging people to stick around. I'm not trying to convince people that they should do anything. I think that you should go and watch other content creators in the morning that can give you positive news 100% of the time. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. I'm never going to change my show to fit your narrative. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do when I'm going to do it. Do not. All right, new rule. New rule. Don't tell me what to do, or I'm gonna do more of what I've already been doing. Block party. I never understood. I never understood. I'm gonna give y'all the greatest content ever. I never understood why people subscribe, because I know you got to subscribe in order to check it out. I never understood. But I remember you. I remember you, bro. You was the nigga that was sucking my dick all last year, trying to jock me and trying to get me to rock out with you. You a TV mounter, nigga. You a TV mounter. Hey, find them fucking studs and hang that goddamn TV. You was all on my nuts last year. Now, see, this is why you got to make sure that you pay attention to people. I got a photographic memory. I remember this nigga was all on my nuts last year. All on my nuts last year, sucking dick. All on my nuts last year. This nigga was trying to get me to promote his business. Hey, my nigga, I mount TVs. Nigga, find that fucking stud and put that goddamn TV up. Find that goddamn stud and put that TV up. Talking to me. Nigga was on my nuts all last year. He was on my goddamn nuts all last year. All on my nuts. Think about it. He just sent me a super chat. Nigga was super chatting me all last year. Sucking dick. Now you want to switch up on me. No, nigga, keep the same energy. Stay on my nuts, bro. Stay on my nuts, bro. Don't switch up now. Man, what's this one? Enough of this white shirt shit. We're going to get back to business. Y'all couldn't handle it. I tried to be nice. I tried to start the year off the right way. I said, all right. Somebody told me in my life, they said, Anton, are we going to get back to the white shirts and shit like that? I said, yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm not doing that shit no more. I'm done. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve nice white shirt Anton. You want to start the year off toxic. You want that other me. You want the me that's going on tour. Bust down your chick tour. All right. Well, let's see what we doing. Let's see what we got going on here. So that's what we doing, huh? No, don't text me now. I see people texting me, Anton, what's going on? No. Nope. You want me to go all the way back. You want hoodie time, black shirt. You know what I'm saying? You want me to go dark. This is what you like. You like hoodies, going dark, all of that. Yes, black tea. This is what you want. You want me to throw the money in your face. You want me to do all of that. You want me to go fully hoodied up, black hoodie. All right, well then that's what we gonna do. Niggas. And it's always these gay men in my chat. It's always these sassy niggas. I don't understand it. Most of the time, it's not even women. You put a woman in her place, and she be like, you know what? That's true. It's always grown men that's hanging fucking TVs. It's always a nigga that's hanging a TV that got to talk shit to me. Why? Why do we have to get this point? Why we got to get to this point? Why is this a thing? Why do I have to be in a space where I got to go dark? I was trying to teach y'all about in-office romances talking about political news, Tim Walz, all of that shit. But now we got to get to the point to where people want to make things difficult for me. And so now we get rid of the white shirt. We going to shelf that. We going to shelf the white shirt. I put on my Yeezy slides and my joggers. I got on Nike Tech joggers and Yeezy slides. I do. Fuck that. Trying to be sophisticated for a bunch of niggas. Why am I putting on a white shirt for niggas that's hanging TVs? Why am I getting professional for niggas that's outside hanging TVs? Riddle me that. Riddle me that. You hang a TV. I got my initials inscribed on my shirt, and you hanging the TV having a conversation with me. Why would I do that? You don't have no time to focus on anything except for getting that mount and getting back and forth to Home Depot in a reasonable amount of time. In a reasonable amount of time, you get to back and forth to Lowe's, go get your equipment and take care of your business. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me get to the rest of this. See, we're going to have a volatile show for the rest of the show. My dog, Thomas Taylor, says, just between me and you, tell me that no, they messed up the joke now. Usual Genius says, yo, AD, I've been rewatching The Wire, always following the money. Do you think it could be recreated? And if so, what would the crime for today's time be? I don't think that The Wire could ever be recreated. I don't think that The Wire could ever be recreated. At all. It's too great of a series. Beat It Up Kool-Aid says, Anton, my friend, got fired from work yesterday for watching... for watching twerk videos on a company computer. Boss walked in and he couldn't click X fast enough. Yo, that's crazy. Not y'all getting fired and losing y'all job for a twerk video. Stephen Butler says, when Trump said drain the swamp, this is exactly what he meant, and I love to see it. They don't want sophisticated me. They want ratchetness in their life every single day. Moses King says, AD, have you heard that Florida is considered banning state representatives from trading stocks? I haven't heard that. Nichelle says, Walz bowing out also changes the game plan for anyone planning to run on the Dem ticket behind him. Whoever is next up cannot lead with Somali at first. My dog Tone says, any chance Walz was the VP candidate because he had the most to lose / cover up, because he definitely was the worst choice available? No, I think that she picked him because she didn't want to be overshadowed by any of the other candidates. I think that he was the most incompetent, honestly. Jack Covington says, I never knew about a post-nuptial agreement. Drop a Patreon on that. It's real. Chance says, appreciated, AD. Yes, it's sleep, diet, and errands. Steve says, Anton, that's a beautiful car for your daughter, but it's very powerful. You may want to have her take it to the track and learn how to handle it. My daughter drives she drives my 911. She drives my Hellcat, my Challenger Hellcat. She has a TRX herself, and she's recently got it tuned. So she's used to it. This is not anything new for her. Yo, it's Eric TV says, just wanted to say good afternoon, AD, but good morning for me. Shout out to you. Man, that's AI, AD. Just kidding. Girth Brooks says, Salvish. Sir, this channel was good for focus and discipline. Bag up, level up, iron sharpens iron. Day one of Anton not dropping a bag chaser hat, says Josh McLean. Darrell Daniels says, one bus driver uppercut. Shout out to my dog. We need an Anton derailment show, email reviews, 1J Ben. Maybe I'll make that a segment. I need to make that like a separate show on its own. And get the Black Air Force Ones and Wild Out, says Corey Williams. My dog Bilderberg voice says, why do y'all make the savage come out of AD? We trying to enjoy the show. The black Air Force One. We're in the closet, tucked away, and you just couldn't let it be. I had a health scare, but I'm back. Shout out to my dog Bilderberg boy. You back? You back? The second derailment of the year. They trying to do it to me. They trying to bring it out of me. That all black low key is mad sexy. Yeah. Yeah. Put that on dumb ways to get fired, says yo, it's Air TV. And they want the villain. They don't want me. They don't listen. I'm about to go on to the next part of the show. People, let me rephrase that. Niggas don't want you to be peaceful. Men today are worse than women. These sassy men today, they are more disrupt. I see why these women be going crazy. I see why these women be so upset because y'all be in there disturbing their peace. I see these women going crazy and I see them getting upset because you're disturbing their peace. Because you the cantankerous one. You the bitch in the relationship. These men are the hoes in the relationship. They the drama fillers. They always got something going on. They super emotional. They live an alternative lifestyle. They getting backdoored. They got a gay boyfriend somewhere. They got diseases from getting stabbed in the back. All of that shit. It's a lot of, it ain't never hardly the women. It's always the men that are bringing the drama instead of going out there and hanging at TV. These dudes be in here causing problems, and they are always, whenever I got a problem, it's always from a sassy man. Every single time. Whenever I have a problem, it's always from a sassy man. Very rarely, I could go off on the woman and she'll just disappear and then she'll come back and say, you know what, AD? You're right about that. You dealing with these sassy men, they come back day after day, and they so full of drama. They come back, they subscribe and come back for more drama. They subscribe and then come back for more drama. They don't want to see you peaceful. I see why y'all girl. See, your girl don't like me. They don't like you. And that's why they come to me. It's not me. I'm not special. I'm not special. Is that you not special? That's all it is. I just realized it. It just really came to me right now. It's not that I'm special because they didn't see the D before they seen the D. Then you get to see the D later. That's your dessert. The D is the dessert. She didn't realize what was going on until she then got into it, and then you change her life. But the reason that she came over in the first place was because you a bitch. You a whole hoe. You a whole hoe. That's what's wrong. I got it now. I figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. These niggas is drama queens. Yep, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. Man, we only on subject number 3. I might have to shelve some of this shit and put it on the back burner for tomorrow. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a traitor for the Republican Party, is commenting saying that the Trump administration, and I didn't see this, I seen the title, so I said I wanted to review this before we get into the view. She said that the Trump administration's fixing of Venezuela, and although 99.9% of all Venezuelans are excited about Maduro getting captured and the possibility of then getting back to regular life after not being in regular life for over 26 years, Marjorie Taylor Greene is apparently going to all the liberal networks saying that this is not an America First agenda and that this doesn't benefit the people of Venezuela also. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
Joining me now is Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Congresswoman, welcome to Meet the Press.
Thanks for having me this morning.
Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Tomorrow is your last day in Congress, so incredibly significant to have you here today, Congresswoman. You and President Trump, of course, had an extraordinary break last year. We'll talk all about that in just a moment, but
How come all of a sudden she's doing all of the liberal networks?
I do want to talk about something you said this weekend in the wake of this attack against Venezuela, removing Nicolas Maduro. You said that the administration's actions were not America first. Now, the president was asked about this idea yesterday. I want to play that clip and get your reaction on the other side. Take a look.
Mr. President, why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world.
Why do you disagree, Congresswoman?
I love Trump. He just gets straight to it.
Well, you know, I served on the Homeland Security Committee for 3 years, and I am overwhelmingly in support of a strong border. I impeached Secretary Mayorkas. Those were my articles of impeachment that passed the House, because fentanyl overdoses skyrocketed to 280% in my own district. And the majority of American fentanyl overdoses and deaths come from Mexico. Those are the Mexican cartels that are killing Americans. And so my pushback here is, if this was really about narco-terrorists and about protecting Americans from cartels and drugs being brought into America, the Trump administration would be attacking the Mexican cartels. Now, I am not defending Maduro, and of course, I'm happy for the people.
The Trump administration has been talking about dealing with Mexico for a long time now. But the thing about Maduro is that, again, and I told y'all this yesterday, Biden put a $25 million bounty on his head. So what I'm trying to understand is, why can't multiple different things be true at the same time? He's held Canada accountable. He's held Mexico accountable. He's also continued to put tariffs on those countries and place a burden on them financially until they get their things in order. And this is the first domino to fall. He also said that Colombia and Cuba was on the list also. So what I'm trying to understand is, how is it limited to, and how do you determine who it is that he should be dealing with first?
Of Venezuela to be liberated, but Americans celebrated the liberation of the Iraqi people after Saddam Hussein. They celebrated the liberation of the Libyan people after Gaddafi. And this is the same Washington playbook that we are so sick and tired of, that doesn't serve the American people, but actually serves the big corporations, the banks, and the oil executives. And so my pushback here is on the Trump administration that campaigned on Make America Great Again, that we thought was putting America first. I want to see domestic policy be the priority that helps Americans afford life after 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration. I want to see...
Listen, she is a rhino. She's a Republican in name only. The only time that she was rocking out with Trump and she had on the MAGA hat and she was down for it and she was attacking the ghetto black chick from Texas. What's the ghetto black chick from Texas's name? Dang, I forgot her name that fast. Chat, what's the ghetto black chick from Texas's name? Let me know what their name is,
domestic
Chat.
policies that prioritize
Jasmine Crockett. She was attacking Jasmine Crockett and all of that type of stuff. Now you switched up and you just on a completely opposite perspective? Okay.
Jobs and affordable housing for Americans after 4 disastrous years of the Biden administration. And I want to see domestic priorities that put Americans first in regards of health care. Health insurance costs too much, car insurance, home insurance. And these are issues that matter to Americans. We don't consider Venezuela our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is right here in the 50 United States, not in the Southern Hemisphere.
Well, for whatever reason, I have this sneaking suspicion that what happens internationally, especially when it comes to our adversaries, affect us too. But I could be wrong.
Let me ask you, because President Trump says he gets to decide what America First means. Does America First mean whatever President Trump says it does?
You know, America First should mean what was promised on the campaign trail in 2024. So my understanding of America First is strictly for the American people, not for the big donors that donate to big politicians, not for the special interests that constantly roam the halls in Washington.
What does this have to do with Maduro? being removed as a dictator, oppressing the people of Venezuela, doing good business with the people in Venezuela. And because the United States of America in the 90s really established the oil industry over in Venezuela. A lot of people in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of people are not familiar with that. I know, I just put it up on the screen. I put your thing up on the screen. A lot of people don't understand that America are the ones that established the oil industry and showed them and brought the equipment over and gave them the insight on how to extract oil out of their reserves, out of their ground. America was the one that established that in the 80s and the 90s, and then it was taken over by dictators, and instead of the people benefiting from it, because listen. A lot of people don't understand this, but I'm going to break it down for you. The reason why Venezuela has infrastructure, schools, hospitals, universities, is because they benefited from the United States of America doing business with them in the 80s and the 90s. And even though they had a dictator, he wasn't the type of dictator that automatically killed journalists at the time. And though he did steal, and though he did start to take over the country, he also allowed for the United States of America to do business with them that benefited Venezuelans. When you got Maduro in office, right, when he stole all of the resources from the people, when he killed journalists that thought that they were leaving Venezuela, when 1/3 of the population completely defected away from Venezuela, that affected our business interests as well as impoverished the people of Venezuela. And then when he started running drugs and then let out the prisons and let people come over to the United States of America under the Biden administration, it further cemented what their freedom riders and the people that was advocating on the behalf of Venezuela, including the woman that won the Nobel Peace Prize. And the reason that she dedicated it over to Trump is because it got his attention to address the issues that ultimately would benefit both Venezuela and benefit the United States of America. Multiple different things could be true at the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Absolutely, it would probably benefit the United States of America to remove Maduro, limit the interests of China, Russia, Iran from extracting resources over in Venezuela, and further our business interests while at the same time benefiting the people by allowing for them to take place, right? Allowing for them to benefit from the fruits and the resources that's in the ground. It helps us, it helps them, and it also limits our exposure to what other countries that are our adversaries are going against us for. It doesn't change the fact that we need to deal with cartels over in Mexico. It doesn't change the fact that Colombia is still shipping drugs over here. It doesn't change the fact that Cuba is still dealing with all of the problems. But guess what? 99.9% of all Venezuelans worldwide are looking at this and they're praising Trump. They're praising Trump.
And not foreign countries that demand their priorities put first over Americans. America first actually means for the American people. And the American people have been put last consistently, decades and decades, by both political parties for far too long. My kids' generation, my kids are 22, 26, and 28, are looking at a future where this whole entire generation doesn't think they'll ever see a Social Security check. They don't believe they'll ever be able to afford to
I have no
own
idea
their
what
own
she's been
home.
talking about.
And
This is not even relevant to anything that got to
really
do with Venezuela.
a slap in the face. It's insulting. Americans don't want $2,000 stimulus checks as a payoff. They want to have good policies brought forth for them, because you want to know something, Kristen? They voted for this administration, and their small dollar donation should matter. And MAGA has its own enemy list, and the enemies of the world are not on their enemy list, and they're tired of being ignored.
Let me ask you about your breakup with President Trump. Part of that was over this battle over releasing the Epstein files in September. After a meeting with a group of Epstein survivors, you'd held a news conference and threatened to identify some of the men who had abused them. The New York Times Magazine reported that President Trump called you in your office afterwards and, quote, according to a staff member, everyone in the the suite of rooms could hear him yelling at her as she listened to him on speakerphone. Green says she expressed her perplexity over his intransigence. According to Green, Trump replied, "My friends will get hurt." What do you think President Trump meant by "my friends will get hurt," Congresswoman?
You know, I've been asking that question ever since, and I make no apologies for standing with women and victims of rape, because in this country, there are far too many victims of rape. All walks of men and women alike have been victims of rape or some type of child abuse. And the Epstein files is significant. And demanding transparency for that should not lead to the president, who I helped get elected and supported far more than pretty much any Republican in Washington. It should not have led to him calling me a traitor. That is absolutely unacceptable, and the American people reject it. Yeah. But here's what should be prioritized is victims. And victims of an entire system.
Let me tell you what Major Retailer Green is, y'all. All right? I don't know. I thought we was talking about Venezuela. I told y'all before I even played this that I hadn't seen it, and so I was reacting to it in real time. But I'm a profile for y'all, because y'all want me to profile as much as possible, so I'm a profile for y'all. All right? Major Retailer Green is the woman that sells herself to you as a person that is always going to be down for you, on your team, whatever, so on and so forth. And the minute that it doesn't suit her, or the minute that she feels some type of way, or she has a change of heart, or she's affected by some outside thing that is going to play into her favor, or that she thinks is going to play into her favor, she'll throw you under the bus. Oh, I'm not just talking about politically. I'm talking about these are the type of snow bunnies that you got to be careful of. These are the type of snow bunnies that you have to be careful of, even in your relationship. She is the personification of what I call, well, I'm going to leave that word out of it. She is the personification of the type of woman that will have you thrown under the bus, and she sold you on the idea that she was loyal, and then she'll come out to everybody else, me to you, and say that she's doing it for all women. I'm doing it for all women. She'll wear your hat. She'll act like she was the biggest champion for you. She'll probably take you to balls to the wall, even though she looked like a little bit of a man. But we ain't tripping off of that. She'll take you balls to the wall and me too the fuck out of you. Me too you to death. If she was a regular chick dealing with a regular dude, she would be story timing on TikTok right now. I'm telling you, this is the type of woman that you don't even want to get into a regular relationship with, because she will absolutely, positively be throwing you under the bus. Nigga, you'll be doing time messing with a chick like this. You will be doing time messing with a chick like this. I think it's some loyal snow bunnies out there. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. It's some loyal snow bunnies out there. Definitely. That'll hold you down, especially down, I told y'all, down in Melvindale, Taylor, Harper Woods, here in Michigan, Metro Detroit area. It's some snow bunnies that'll hold you down. We just don't know which ones. It's harder to tell. That's why I tend to deal with black chicks. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I've always had a black chick, some others around, because I think that I'm just keeping 100 with you. We profiling, right? Black chicks are toxic, but the one thing you know about a black chick, she ain't about to mess up the money. She ain't gonna mess up the money. They'll crash out in the house, but outside the house, they're gonna be on their best behavior. Hi. They gonna act out when they get in the house. Oh, yeah. That's toxic as fuck. Stress you the hell out. Stress you the hell out. But when they get outside, they're gonna be doing like this. Hi. If she didn't like you, you wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Absolutely. She may slap you in your sleep. Yeah, she might slap you in your sleep. 100%. But she only doing that because she thinks she doing that because she love you. She thinks she doing it because she love you. She don't know no better. You gotta train them a little bit differently. But women like this can't be trusted. Can't be trusted. Will have you doing time. Have you doing time. And we will rebrand herself and we be going hanging out with the ops. This is the type of chick that you can spin a block on. Matter of fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene embodies a sentiment of a woman that you can turn against her man. Like, she the type of chick where if you want to get at her homie, like let's say you got an enemy and you looking for his weakness, and she talking to a chick that's like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you can get that dude done in a minute. You can get him done in a minute. Seriously, you can get him got because you know that all you got to do is infiltrate his chick. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100. There's some snow bunnies that'll hold you down. Absolutely. It's some snow bunnies that'll hold you down. It's harder to figure it out, though. It's hard to figure out who they are now because we got to see a rhinos. We got to see a liberals that's pretending like they conservative. The water is getting murky. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. The water is different now, man. Seriously, it's getting harder to tell. It's harder to tell. Way Report says, what happened? I left the show for a few minutes to get some ramen, and this man goes full Superman on us with new gear. They didn't like it. They didn't have to say they didn't like it. They was acting out. Y'all was acting like just about 20 minutes ago, y'all was acting like y'all got a substitute teacher in this bitch. Like I had let somebody else take over the podcast. Maybe I've been wearing the black shirt for too long. Wade Report. The people was acting like I was some kind of sucker. I put on a white shirt and they thought that I was soft. They thought that I had forgot where I came from. For whatever reason, all of a sudden I wasn't from Detroit. Yeah, that's what happened. I put on a white shirt for 2 days and everybody acted like I was a substitute teacher in this bitch all of a sudden. Now they felt compelled. They typing hard in the chat, saying wild shit. I said, okay. All right, well, then we going to go ahead and fix this. Fix this. No, your car talking about 2 out of 3,000 people. Nope, because y'all was egging it on. It was other people that was egging it on. Y'all was the kids in the classroom that was laughing at the class clown. Y'all was the kids in the classroom that was laughing at the class clown. Y'all thought it was cute. Oh, he's showing out. What you gonna do, Anton? Company came in, y'all started acting like y'all ain't had no sense. Put on a white shirt and you thought I was weak all of a sudden. Put on a white shirt and they got out of control. I said, all right, cool. All right. No. Get your classmates. Chasers lost their mind for a second. Obi-Wan, the homie, says feminism at its finest. Mika, my girl Mika says, CNN poll says 86% of MAGA agrees with Donald J. Trump. Yes, they did. Absolutely. I don't see anybody that's complaining except for people that hate Trump. Brian the filmmaker, shout out to Brian the Mill filmmaker, says, honestly, I think they got something on her. The switch up here is crazy. Yeah, she did a 180, bro. Trio Sum says, that's what I get. That's because I dropped the Patreon video today and now y'all acting spoiled. It's funny how no one done anything the whole time in office, but now they just know what to do. Shut the F up. The Watcher in the building. Shout out to the Watcher, says, originally I didn't think this was a good idea long term. After watching the UN, it's only countries that has something to lose that are against this. BS, I want my $2,000 of free money. Sarge Life and Motorcycle says, what up, AD? I had to shut it down for the health, but I'm back in the game. God is good. Appreciate the grind. Shout out to you, man. Welcome back, bro. I'm glad that you're back. I missed you. Marjorie Taylor Greene is an ex-disgruntled worker. AD do a beard cleaning tutorial. Oh, man, my beard is so gorgeous, too. It look clean. It smells good, you know? MTG is basically a Cassie. Facts. I ain't a liberal no more. Damn it, I blame you, AD, Coach Chris. Hey, man, we got to get off the plantation. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Nah, I like my snow bunny. Shout out to my snow bunnies, too. TS Car Washing Detail says, ADQ said don't talk about the white chicks. Coach Chris says, AD, thanks for the advice. Not worried about anybody's support. And some of the best advice anyone ever gave me. I appreciate you 100% bag chasers. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description. I dropped the video today. A wolf in sheep's clothing says bad habits. Eric says, and wondering why she was called a traitor. Traitor. All right, y'all. We got more to talk about. So I got to get over to the lunch ladies. We haven't talked about the lunch ladies in a long time. We haven't talked about the lunch ladies in a very long time, partially because the show is boring. But the other part of it is because they haven't had anything relevant to say. But of course, they were going to chime in on what was going on with Trump and Maduro and Venezuela. And you know what else I'm realizing? I'll share that with you shortly.
While perhaps no one is going to miss a tyrant like Maduro, is this a legal thing? I mean, who voted for this? Who said, hey, yeah, go on in there and do this? Because originally, wasn't it, he was concerned about the drugs coming in and out, and yet he pardoned like a giant
kingpin.
Kingpin. And so what is this all about?
So before I get into it, you know what I'm realizing? That actors are good at nothing but acting. Actors are good at nothing but acting. And do you know why I say that? Because the more that I listen to Whoopi, the more that I realize that Whoopi is dumb as hell. Whoopi Goldberg is dumb as fuck. She don't know nothing. She's confused. She don't know no names. She ain't did no research. Now, I can understand if somebody is not as familiar with politics or can't speak to the talking points, but Whoopi done been on air for a long fucking time, bro. She done been on The View for years. And usually when you do something long enough, you start to familiarize yourself with it. For example, if somebody is not familiar with sports, but they start to be, a co-host of a show to introduce certain subjects, the longer that you are around people that are familiar with sports and the more that you research it, the more you are able to talk about it, the more you're able to give an articulate opinion about a subject, especially when it comes to politics. And so anything that you do long enough, you start to become well-versed in it. But Whoopi is just dumb as fuck, if we just being transparent. Don't know nothing, use all of the regular liberal talking points, and don't even have a thought of her own. I didn't realize that a person can act, but it doesn't mean that they have any real substance or value when it comes to a regular conversation. I'm guessing that you could probably sit at a table and have a conversation with Whoopi Goldberg, and you can't in any way, shape, or form get anything of substance from her. They playing games. She pretending like she know what's going on the internet and on this show. And if it wasn't for the producers giving her talking points, she would be up there looking like an imbecile, an absolute idiot.
I can speak to the legal part of it. I think Anna can certainly speak to the geopolitics of it all, but
this is the thing that we tell
rappers
rappers not to do. That's why we don't let rappers talk politics, because they some dumb as hell.
Do this. It
tells people why not.
Well, it's not legal because it violates international law, right? And this sort of represents this new, I mean, I've never seen it before, for the president of the United States to kill, I believe he killed over, the U.S. government killed over 100 people, including civilians and military in Venezuela during this kidnapping and capture. And international law doesn't allow it unless unless Congress declares war, and Congress did not do that. So this country was founded on the premise of the balance of power, right? So you have checks and balances. So you have co-equal powers co-equal branches of power.
You mean in the United Nations? Is that what she's speaking of? Because somebody told me in the chat that they put 50 million. They had upped it to 50 million for Maduro.
So you have the judicial branch, and then you have the executive branch, which the president is a part of, and then you have, of course, the legislative branch, and that's Congress. And they're supposed to check each other. Mm-hmm. This president is doing whatever the heck he wants without any checks or balances. And I have never in my lifetime seen this type of regime change, which is what we just saw, work out well for the United States. It just doesn't work. And in my view, this is completely 100% illegal.
So let me tell you what's happening. Again, this is what Trump has been talking about when he said Trump derangement syndrome. The reason that he says it's Trump derangement syndrome is because you could literally solve for world hunger. Trump could solve for world hunger, right? He could find a way to feed every child in Sudan, and they would find something wrong with it. 99% of all Venezuelans is jumping out of their seat and crying tears of joy. I haven't seen a race or a nation or a country of people that is spread throughout the world that have been dealing with the levels of atrocities that they've never did before. The amount of people that were tortured, the amount of people that were killed, the amount of journalists that were censored and killed and thrown off of planes, the amount of people that have suffered under this regime for over 26 years. And Trump was in and out of there in an hour, in which his predecessor had allocated that this guy was a war criminal. The Biden administration said that this guy was a war criminal. And you could literally solve for world hunger, and liberals and Democrats would absolutely positively find all of the things that they can find that is difficult to be able to stomach the fact that you are able to fix something. Everybody wins. There is nothing and nobody that don't win as a result of Maduro being captured and removed from Venezuela. Obama said that. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find that old footage. Let me see if I can find that. 10 years ago. Let me see something. 10 years ago, in 2015. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. Let's go back.
Has more on Nicolas Maduro's reaction to the growing friction with Washington. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro lashed out at the U.S. after President Barack Obama declared Venezuela a national security threat and signed an executive order approving new sanctions against the country. In a fiery 2-hour speech, Maduro called it proof that Washington wants to topple his government.
President Obama will be remembered in the future for this decision and his aggression against the Venezuelan people, the noble people, because the people of Venezuela are a peaceful people. President Obama, you don't have the right to attack, nor to declare that Venezuela is a threat to the people of the United States. You are the threat to the people of the United States.
Obama's executive order targets 7 Venezuelan government officials for alleged human rights abuses relating to the crackdown of anti-government protests last year and the recent arrest of high-profile opposition politicians. All of them would be barred from the U.S. and also have their properties and assets there seized. But at Monday's speech, Maduro called these officials heroes and even promoted one of them to become interior minister. This cements Venezuela as Washington's main adversary in Latin America, now that relations with Cuba are improving. In recent months, Maduro has accused the U.S. of trying to overthrow his government. Last week, the Venezuelan president ordered the U.S. embassy to cut its staff to 17 from 100 within 15 days. Maduro also imposed a visa requirement for U.S. tourists to register when entering Venezuela. With the country's inflation rate the highest in the world and widespread shortages of goods common, Washington says Caracas is using the U.S. as a scapegoat.
Clearly, we've also seen a pattern over the past several months of President Maduro accusing the United States of being involved in transgression.
So the Obama administration was dealing with Maduro, and inflation had been the highest in the world. Let me see something.
Today on the Biden administration's decision to grant temporary protected status to hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans living in the U.S., many of them right here in South Florida.
A leading opposition leader from Venezuela says granting TPS should spark a new wave of protests demanding an end to the Maduro regime. Our senior political reporter, Michael Putney, in the newsroom with more on this. Michael.
Louis, today I spoke with Ambassador Carlos Vecchio. He is Juan Guaido's special envoy to the U.S., and Vecchio says TPS for Venezuelans will be a big boost for their campaign to oust Nicolas Maduro.
So this was 4 years ago. This was 4 years ago that this came out. So when Whoopi first said, who called for this? Who wanted this to happen? What do you mean? We've been dealing with this motherfucker for 25 years, dealing with him. As far back as we can get information on the internet is when we got information on him.
I do think, oh, go ahead. Look.
So when Whoopi says this.
Is this a legal? So while perhaps no one is going to miss a tyrant like Maduro, is this a legal thing? I mean, who voted for this? Who's
Go ahead. Look, I don't think this is at all about the Venezuelan people. Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about the Venezuelan people. If he did, he wouldn't be taking away temporary protective status from 600,000. He wouldn't be arresting the Venezuelans that are seeking asylum here. He wouldn't be maligning the entire community and sending hundreds of Venezuelans to a hellhole prison in El Salvador. I don't think Donald Trump gives a damn about drugs. If he did, he would not have pardoned the former president of Honduras, who was serving 45 years in federal prison for having brought 400 tons of cocaine into the United States.
Tons.
I think this is a lot about Donald Trump's ego,
I think he thought it was going to be easier to get rid of Maduro. I don't know that he thought it was going to take 4.5 months and 1/4 of the Navy arsenal. And
he literally went and got him overnight. And every month, every dollar that we spent getting him out of there, every dollar that we spent getting him out of there, we're going to make it all back, plus some. This was an investment in the United States of America, and we're creating an environment also on top of that to allow for people to go home, Even when you are giving him praise, you are trying to knock him down and trying to act like he not doing what he did. Obama didn't like him. Biden didn't like him. Bush didn't like him.
A cost of over $1 billion to do this. I don't think this is regime change because the regime is still there. He got rid of the head. He got rid of the titular head, which is Maduro, and it's the biggest trophy there is. But
the
all
vice
of
president is still there.
And the vice
president is now president.
Well,
And
I refuse to call her
worse,
either
bad.
because you see, Maduro, so the U.S. government under Biden and under Trump have said they don't recognize Maduro as the legitimate president of the United States because he stole the elections.
Right.
And so if we don't
She don't even know what she's saying. They're mixing up words because they are just saying things and just coming up with it as they say it. Recognize him as the legitimate president of the United States. What are you talking about?
The United States because he said they don't recognize Maduro as the legitimate president of the United States.
I lose brain cells, man. I do. I feel like I lose brain cells when I'm listening to people that don't know their right from their left, bro.
Because he stole the elections.
Right.
And so if we don't recognize him as president, how in the hell can then we turn around and recognize his vice president as vice president and now interim president?
Do you
and
think
as
it's
to
about
your
the oil?
question, I think it's about the oil. Your question, who voted for this? The people in South Florida. The Venezuelan community, the Cuban American community, the Nicaraguan American community voted for this. And for us, this is a very, very happy day.
So which one is it? Which one is it? Are you mad at him or are you excited for him? If the people in Venezuela or Venezuelans that are American citizens or Venezuelans that advocated for this in Florida or in the United States of America are excited, or if you are excited because this is a liberating day for you, how are you talking so much shit? Which one is it? Is it that you happy and excited or you not? Are you happy or are you not? Hold on, let me look at this switch up real quick.
The oil? Your question, who voted for this? The people in South Florida. The Venezuelan community, the Cuban American community, the Nicaraguan American community voted for this. And for us, this is a very, very happy day when we see a dictator who has been part of oppressing and abusing the Venezuelan people for 25 years. When we see him in handcuffs and held to some sort of accountability, it brought me into tears. It brought me great joy. And, you know, I live in South Florida.
But are you okay with the way that it was done?
But you can, I think both things can be true.
Okay.
I think you can criticize and ask questions and have concerns about the way it was done and what this means in the future.
Right.
And I think you can still celebrate that this murderous, corrupt, sadistic son of a bitch is out of Venezuela. Because I mean, he has, I think there's 8 million Venezuelan exiles all over the world. People have fled from this man's tyrannical rule. So for me, I am very disturbed by Donald Trump's words about the opposition leader who legitimately won the elections that Maduro stole. He said that her party, won the election. She said she, Maria Corina Machado, has no respect or support of the Venezuelan people. She won the elections against this dictator by 70% of the vote.
This is important. I think that's very well said. Two things.
Did I miss something? Or did I just see somebody just turn around in their chair and do like this? Did I miss something? Or did I see somebody turn around in their chair and just do like this? Just did a whole 180 and then just came on back and started criticizing again. What the fuck am I watching right now? What am I watching? How can you celebrate and this be the happiest day of your life? And then you turn around and talk shit at the same time about the person that gave you liberation.
Things can be true at once. I am celebrating that Nicolas Maduro
No, she didn't make valid points.
is out of power. This is a man who has starved, impoverished, jailed his opponents. He is a bad man and a dictator. But I have two key things that stand out to me. The lack of congressional authority is incredibly important. There's a long history in this country, to be clear, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan, where we've had very fragile congressional authority to go in. But what I care about is what happens tomorrow, because I saw the news and like Anna, I was celebrating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't.
Liar, 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 liar. This is the type of woman. Remember when I was telling you about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Don't let a pretty face and a small waist get you caught up, fellas. Don't let a pretty face and a small waist get you caught up, fellas. This is the type of woman that'll act like she's happy for you when she's not really happy for you. She playing the game. No, 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 no. I don't believe it. Not even a second of it. You're not going to lie to me. You're not going to lie to me. Nope. Nope. This is the type of woman that in every shape or form will have you locked up, Me Too'd. She will be around you. She'll get all of your secrets and then she'll give it to another nigga. I'm telling you, liar. So you were celebrating? Are you Venezuelan? Are you Cuban? Are you Colombian? What are you? Why is she? Listen, half of these people didn't even know the plight of Venezuelans just 4 or 5 days ago. Just 4 or 5 days ago, most people overwhelmingly had no clue about the plight and was just using talking points just a couple days ago. All of a sudden, everybody became a #1 expert on Venezuela. Fuck out of here, liars. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Liar. Liar, 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 liar.
Because I saw the news and like Anna, I was celebrating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know if I would see the day that Maduro's out of power. But the obvious solution here would be the opposition leader, Machado, who has 70% approval and got 70% of the vote.
And won a Nobel Prize, correct?
Actually, the stand-in candidate who was in for her actually got 70% of the vote, won a Nobel Peace Prize. This is the person who should stand elections, and the U.S.'s only role should be facilitating to make sure that they're free and that they're fair and that there's not intimidation for people, the Venezuelans trying to cast their votes. What scared me is it seems like there's this rallying behind the vice president, Rodriguez, who, as far as I'm concerned, is as bad as Maduro. Having her in power would be a continuation of the same regime. So the U.S., again, diplomacy now. Let the Venezuelan people vote for a free, safe, and fair Venezuela, have democratic elections, and move on.
Can I ask you this, though? Because the thing that's interesting to me is Venezuela, I don't think a lot of people know, owns 20% of the world's oil, more than Saudi Arabia. And Trump, for months, we've been saying at this table, this is about the oil.
So wait. So give me a second, because I'm trying to figure something out. Now, I could be off, all right, because I'm not the sharpest knife in the tool shed. I didn't think that Machado was the one that won the election. Machado was the opposition, and that was the person that won the Nobel Peace Prize. And correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. The person, because I'm always open to being wrong, the person that won the Nobel Peace Prize was the person that won the election was the person that she backed, right? It was the party. It wasn't, she never ran. So what are they talking about? Am I off? Correct me. Just correct me. Give me some insight. Yeah, the man won. So what are they talking about? She won a Nobel Peace Prize, but she wasn't the person. Eduardo Gonzalez won, right? So what are they talking about? Now, and the only reason I know this is because I covered it in 2024, because I was paying attention to the United States of America, whether or not they was going to recognize Maduro because we knew that he stole the election. So if Gonzalez won, but Machado is the person that won the Nobel Peace Prize because she dedicated it to Trump, which I think she dedicated it to Trump in order to get his attention. Why are they saying that she won the election? So basically, let me tell you what I think is happening. And this is how you know that people are just talking shit. This is how you know people are just talking shit. They're taking talking points based off of what they see being communicated on social media, and they are not even speaking based off of what they know. They just talking. She started running in 2024 and gave the guy the stand-in candidate. But even if they were the stand-in candidate, that's not the person that won the election, or that's not the person that actually was voted on in the election. She tried to run. She was barred from running, and said what somebody else is saying. So she threw her support to a surrogate that won the election. Okay, so the person that won the election was a stand-in candidate, right? That was Gonzalez, right? So I am right. Let's do some research. Let's just deep dive a little bit. That's why we got the internet. Let me look at this really quickly. I just want to make sure that I'm not off.
Until the recent teen history of Venezuela, it is natural that there are mixed feelings, we understand, and respect them, hecken them. This moment constitutes an important step, but it is not enough. The normalization of the country's reality will only be possible when all Venezuelans deprived of liberty for political reasons through hostages of a system of persecution as are released and the majority cases suppressed by the Venezuelan people on July 28th is unambiguously respected. As various...
Okay, so we figured that out, all right? Let me see something really quickly.
But for months, Trump was
as bad as Maduro. Having her in power would be a continuation of the same regime. So the U.S., again, diplomacy now. Let the Venezuelan people vote for a free, safe, and fair Venezuela, have democratic elections, and move on.
Can I ask you this, though? Because the thing that's interesting to me is Venezuela, I don't think a lot of people know, owns
But the obvious solution here would be the opposition leader, Machado, where we've had very fragile congressional authority to go in.
Yeah.
But what I care about is what happens tomorrow, because I saw the news and like Anna, I was celebrating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know if I would see the day that Maduro's out of power. But the obvious solution here would be the opposition leader, Machado, who has 70% approval and got 70% of the vote.
And won a Nobel Prize, correct?
Actually, the stand-in candidate who was in for her.
Okay, so we got there. We got there right. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of the lunch ladies. I feel like every single time that and she was reading from a sheet. She was reading from a sheet that was produced for her. That's one of the benefits of being on national TV is that you actually have researchers and producers that put that type of stuff together, and then they're able to give you the talking points and the bullet points so that you'll be able to communicate effectively on TV. No? Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to get on with the show. I do want to remind you guys that before I go on to the next subject, that we do have after hours tonight. So make sure you guys tap in the after hours with me, Carrie, Kimmy, Slimmy, Q. Mika's not going to be there tonight because it's Tuesday. Me, Q, Miss Sanchez, Molly, Lex. Am I missing anybody? Yeah, all of that. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon and make sure y'all tap in on After Hours tonight. I did drop a video on the Patreon today. Hangman Mounting says, I'm not done. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for your $5. I used to like Whoopi. She was my favorite ugly actress. Faith says H&Y Anton Majorie is like the mad side chick. The dude told her he's going to make it work with the wife and felt betrayed. That's a fact. That's a fact. Plies is a prime example of being ignorant. That's true, Trey. I agree with you. Bilderberg Boy says Sonny doesn't know the U.S. are the enforcers of international law. Her law degree came out of a cereal box. All these hags are brain dead. Pookie's friend Ray Ray says, even if he doesn't care about, he still did something that benefits them. Caring about the Venezuelan people means nothing if you can't help them. I don't know why anybody can speak to what he cares about and what he doesn't care about. Guyer90 says, my wife's family lost everything in Venezuela, starving, waited online for 5 hours for small chicken legs to share money blocked. Overpriced tickets, people crying about Trump need to shut the F up. Whiskey Pierre Louise says, Anton, Trump, TPS, it's issued when a country has issues, temporary protective status. The country that issued the TPS has to help fix the country and return the people if needed. He did. Bad Habit says, might need to send some people to these communist dictatorship countries so they can get the experience. Well, the CNA says, take it easy on the lunch ladies. That's almost elderly abuse because they'll probably be in a nursing facility soon. Sid says, imagine being starving, given steak, and still complaining that the cow had to die. That's a really good analogy. Cutie Executive MLE says, Anna got right back on cold. I wonder if they said something in her ear. These women are ridiculous. The left has Cheddar Bobbed themselves again. Cheddar Bob is an 8 Mile, shot himself. Eric says they are really mad because they found voter fraud. They're not speaking on nothing when it comes to the voter fraud, though. What a great show, AD, with a smidgen of ADS outbursts. Listen. That is what makes the show great, is that I interact with the chat, but we not done for today. Again, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. I want to go over to Seattle. All right? Seattle. I don't know what it is about electing liberal white women with big foreheads that look like meth heads. I don't know what it is. I don't know what America's obsession with liberal white women are, but man, you guys have been able to populate this country like never before. Man, you guys have been able to get in the mix, and y'all are getting in the office. Y'all are getting elected. Y'all are out here. I don't know what it is, but you guys are out here in force. But Seattle was under fire, including their administration and the police, about a memo that was sent out about not arresting drug participants and users in Seattle. I don't think that this is going to be a long segment, so let's just get to it.
City leaders insist allegations that the Seattle Police Department will no longer arrest people suspected of open drug use in Seattle are not true.
Hey, recording somebody smoking crack and doing meth is wild. Knowing what a crack is and the meth users are that is smoking openly in front of the kiddies is crazy. And not doing nothing about it. Seattle's supposed to have a whole lot of money. Why Seattle so fucked up? They got Amazon, they got Microsoft, they got some of the highest real estate and the highest real estate taxes, the property taxes. What's happening in shit? Why is Seattle so messed up? Seattle budget. Why does Seattle have a budget deficit? I don't understand. Why do they have a $250 million budget deficit? That makes no sense to me. I don't understand that. And then they projected a budget gap in 2027 also. Well, all of the money and the resources that these places have coming into it, why do they have a budget deficit? I don't get it.
Call the allegations misinformation. This controversy surfaced after a leaked email from the police chief to the department's officers. KOMO's Michelle Esteban went to City Hall for answers and to confront the city attorney sworn into office today about prosecuting those cases. Michelle.
Molly, I learned that actually all of this began with this memo from the city attorney's office. In short, it says the city is going to lean into a Seattle ordinance, all in an effort to treat drug use with diversion programs while reserving criminal charges for cases where diversion may not work. From Seattle's top cop to Mayor Katie Wilson and now the newly sworn in Seattle City Attorney Erica Evans, all three insist allegations that Seattle cops were ordered to halt open drug arrests are not true.
Nothing's changing in terms of policy. Officers still have the discretion to make arrests for folks using. All we're saying in our office is we're going to follow the law.
And lean into a city ordinance already on the books that emphasizes treatment over prosecution.
We got to look at this problem as if this was a loved one that's suffering and what is the right response.
I asked the police chief directly about it. He insists nothing has changed when it comes to police continuing to make drug-related arrests. But that's not how the police union interpreted it. An internal email from the chief to officers released by the department to KOMO reads, effective immediately, all charges related to drug possession and or drug use will be diverted from prosecution to LEAD. LEAD is the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program. It emphasizes treatment over prosecution, and it aligns with the city attorney's campaign promise.
This is crazy. Man, listen, I'm convinced that there's nobody in office that has actually interacted with, sat with, had a conversation with, or even grew up amongst crackheads. That's what we call them. We call them dope fiends or fiends and crackheads. I'm convinced that they don't even understand the habits of a crackhead. You know what crackheads do? They shoot moves, baby. They shuck and jab, they shoot moves. They're trying to figure out what the next play is. A crackhead is worse than Major Taylor Green. You know why? Because the minute that you turn your back, they'll be taking money out of your pocket while asking you at the same time. When I go out every day, right? Not every day, but once every couple of weeks. When I go out once every couple of weeks and I give money to the people, right? And I know that there's some crackheads that's going to be finessing me. Hopefully they take some of the money that I give them and they buy some food. And you can see it in some of the videos that I've dropped where I show y'all how I deal with people, right? When I go out and I deal with baseheads and crackheads, I know that it's a possibility, a strong possibility, that I'm going to get finessed. I know that I'm going to give some money, and then one of them going to go, and he going to take his jacket off. Oh, take my jacket off and get another one. And he going to come around, and he going to get to the back of the line, and he going to try to get another piece of dollar. I know that they're going to be finessing hard. Nobody finesses you harder, even worse than a woman that is trying to get pregnant so that they can get a lifetime of child support. Nobody is a faster finesser than a crackhead. I know all of your tricks. I know all of your games. I know that you're going to ask me for an obscure amount of money, hoping that I round up. It's the crackhead way. Hey, big dog. Oof. Oh, my shoulder hurting. Big dog. Trying to get some bus fare up so I can go get my shoulder checked out. You got $2.38. I'm $2.38 from being able to make it to my destination. Cause he trying to get $3 or $5. You know what I'm saying? He gonna say some obscure number every time. They make it up, it's a different number every time. And the minute that you give them whatever it is that they want, they don't even have no pride. They're not going to wait till you leave to ask the next person. They're going to switch over. All right, man, here's $5, bro. Hey, man, God bless you, man. Be careful, bro. All right. Hey, they're going to go to the next shoulder. It's going to be a white woman walking past. Oh, miss. I'm sorry. I hate to bother you, but you got any spare change? I'm about $3.19 short of being able to make it to my appointment. I got to pick up my daughter. Yes. I don't know. Daughter just called me, got stranded. I was trying to figure it out. And they don't do a different play for the different person right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. Seesaw, what you doing? It's a crackhead named Seesaw down here. Seesaw, what you doing, man? Oh man. He gonna ask you, he gonna hit you up. So I seen him in the morning. Hey, Seesaw, man, what up, bro? How you doing, man? Oh, not much, man. You got something to spare for me anytime? Yeah, man, what you need? I gotta get over to the bus station over there, right down the street. You know what it is. Gotta get over to the social services. Yeah, man, here, man. Get some food to you while you're on the way. All right, thank you, man. Yeah, doing good today, huh? All right. Need me to do anything, sweep the floors? I can be by there later. No, I'm good, Seesaw. All right, cool. I come out there. He forgot that I gave him some money, right? I come out there. Yeah, man. Hey, man, I'll be right back. I got to run over here. Hey, big dog. $2.38. Got to get over to social service. I said, Seesaw, I just gave it to you, bro. Just a little bit. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, bro. And then you just keep on skating down the street. Like, the crackhead games and activities are something that you've never seen before. If you've never experienced it, you're going to get finessed if you start trying to help people out and they don't give a fuck about you, right? They're not going to ever use the money for the thing that they thought that they're going to use it for. But you hope, you pray that they actually use it for something meaningful in addition to going to get some more crack, right? So when I see Seattle people, because this sounds good to us, hey, guys, we're going to use diversion programs in order to try to prevent them and get them off the street. A diversion program, my nigga, huh? That's what your plan is. Sounds like a bunch of liberals that was raised in the suburbs that came into the city and felt like they can save us. You can't save these niggas. You can't save no crackhead. You know how you get a crackhead clean? You let him sit in the joint by himself, solitary confinement, and let him shake it off, let him sweat it off. And they make noises. They make noises when they trying to sweat it out. When they going through withdrawals and they can't get that fix. and they look cold, but their body is warm. Oh, get a little bit of relief. Oh, they scratch. You don't know what crackheads look like until a nigga scratch with the back of his hand. They don't scratch like us normal folks. We scratch like this. Ah, shoot, I'm itching. These niggas scratch reverse. It's a different type of nigga that you dealing with out here in these streets. So when they come to us and they start talking this shit to us, yeah, man, we're going to use diversity, equity, and inclusion programs to get them off the street. You don't know what you dealing with. That's a different type of person out there. He not even him. You know how they got this the video where they do the Snickers? You're not you when you don't have a Snickers. They not them when they not high. They not them when they not high. Let me just tell you something, bro. I was raised, all that Big Meat shit, they from Detroit. YBI. Before Big Meat, it was the YBI, Young Boys Incorporated, right? It's a different wave in these streets. They scratch like this, nigga. They don't scratch like this. They scratch like this. This is a comfort, man. You talking about people. Fix the connection. Okay, we back. All right. Let me get back to what I was about to say because I was really about to go in. You talking about people that'll suck dick, that'll suck cock, male or female. It doesn't matter. They'll do anything in order to get a fix. I'm not telling you nothing that's not already known. For those of you that may not be familiar, because you walk past them every day, you drive by them on the freeway, you don't know these type of people. You don't know these type of people. I'm telling you that it's different. So when they keep talking about this diversity, this diversion program, man, hey, somebody name me one person. We got thousands of people that is looking at this right now. Somebody tell me one person that you know that got clean off of a diversion program that was instituted by the city. You know what this is? This is a scam. This is a way for them to defund the police. This is a way for them to reroute funds so that they friends and family, every time you see funding comes through, diverted, somebody come in with good intentions. You know what it is? It's a way for them to move some money around and scam you. They're going to take money off the street for public safety. They're going to scam you out of some money. They're going to get a new director and some more people in there, and they're going to move some money around. That's all that means to me is scam. Scam, scam, scam. Boy, you ain't never got nobody off the street off of no diversion program. Scam. Stealing. Money gone. Scam. I don't know one person, and I deal with homeless people and people that are on the streets every single day. That is why I walk around with a bunch of money in my pocket. So I get a bunch of fives and I give them out on a daily basis. And on the good weeks, every other week, I pay my tax to the streets. I don't know one person, not one person in life that has ever been fixed from a diversion program. and we throw billions, not millions, billions of dollars at this foolishness every single day.
To prioritize diversion over prosecution. And while there may not be a change in policy, it represents a change.
The former city attorney had 97% of those people didn't get any treatment, and they were right back out in our streets. And so the difference we're saying is we're going to change that.
And if they don't, Evans says her office will pursue traditional approaches, aka prosecution.
If we go to 12th and Jackson right now, areas of Belltown, there's people that are out right now in our streets, and people are suffering. And what's been currently happening is
Fair enough, Riri. You said this is what the people voted for, but the people ain't never seen no crackheads in the way that they live, and they ain't never been around them like that. You have no clue whatsoever. People are voting out of ignorance, and that's why it's dangerous to deal with people with talking points instead of people that actually can give you real life solutions on how to fix this shit. Because it sounds good. Hey, man, we're going to get a diversion program up. We're no longer arresting open air drug users until your kid got to go to school and that shit. Until you got to walk past it every day. Until you see a homeless tent up and right in front of your building. Until you actually experience it and see it, it's always good to vote on it from a distance. Most people don't have a clue what they talking about. And that's why talking points is so prevalent. Shit, you can't go and talk to nobody on the internet or in real life without them stealing from Kevin Samuels and telling you that they would. Don't nobody know what the fuck a high value man is. Most people never even looked at the video that Kevin Samuels said that he used to describe what a high value man is. But they automatically gonna take no, nigga, I made $100,000 one year, and I'm a high value man. They don't even know what it is, but they're going to steal the talking point. It's easy to steal a talking point. Very rarely do people actually do their research to better understand exactly what it is. They don't know about consistently making a certain amount of money over a period of years. They don't know about being a part of a group or having a professional title or usually being able to sustain it for a longer period of time. They don't know about adding value. They don't know about the character aspect of it. They never watched any of that part of the video. Because I'm a high value man. So what makes you think that they're going to do some research to better understand what works and what don't work?
It's not working.
To really ensure that it's pragmatic and effective on the ground.
All these people that are speaking right now are speaking at an event.
For Councilmember Bob Kettle, chair of the Council's Public Safety Committee, he says it's an opportunity to ensure the ordinance is working.
Nonsense. Because at the end of the day, we need to be looking out for those neighbors in crisis, but we also have to look out for our neighborhoods. Those neighborhoods who are being hurt, that are being harmed by the scourge of the drug markets on our streets.
I also wanted to mention that the email from the police chief spelled out exactly what you heard there from the city attorney. And it also says that if there is a disagreement, perhaps police recommend one thing and the city attorney's office recommends another, that both sides will meet and discuss that. I wanted to also mention, you heard from Bob Kettle there. He said that they already had a meeting on the books for the end of the first quarter for city council where they want to address this. You better believe this will be a topic there they want to look at closely. They want to make sure that it does work and that it is effective. So
long story short, let me give you the cliff note. The cliff note is that if you want to do some drugs on the streets and go to Seattle when you're not going to be arrested, they just going to try to divert you and steal some money. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Man, it's been a great show. I've been on a fucking streak of great shows. Crackhead hate me. I gave the exact change they asked for. Be having me looking for loose change between the car seats. They be mad as You know I'm a case manager at a shelter with mental health and addicts and more. People don't want help. Maybe 5% out of the 100 I can work with. These libs don't see. You know what's really happening in the streets. And you know that I'm telling the truth. You know that I'm telling the truth. Yeah. It's been a great show. It is. I hope y'all are entertained. I hope y'all are entertained. Like, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I know that we talk junk and all of that. We go back and forth, and I tell niggas that they need to go and hang them TVs. That's true too. Go and hang them goddamn TVs. But I give y'all my all every day. I do. I give y'all my all every day. I try to really entertain y'all, add value, talk about things of substance, and then hopefully give you some insight so that you can live your life better than you was the day before. I do. Day in and day out. When I'm tired, when I'm sleepy, when I'm sleep deprived, when I got a headache, no matter what the situation is, I always make sure that I hopefully entertain y'all. And I try to integrate y'all as a part of the show. And some people say, Anton, well, why do you even respond to the chat and stuff like that on your live stream on the Millionaire Morning Show? Because it's entertaining. And I value the people, honestly. I genuinely value y'all feedback. I like to integrate y'all into the show. I give y'all fucking 3 hours every day. Every day. When I go in and I change the shirts, talk about busting down your chicks and all of that stuff. Listen, don't take it personal. For real. Seriously, don't take it personal. I do this for a living. I try to make sure that I'm entertaining. It's almost like when y'all sit in front of the when y'all say stuff in the chat, right? And let's say I pick you out of the chat and I start going off on you. It's like sitting at the front in the front row at the comedy show. It's like sitting at the front row at the comedy show. Like, don't take it personal. Don't be butthurt. Don't go and say, oh man, I can't believe AD cussed me out. No, you talking in the chat, and so I'm gonna entertain the people, and you're gonna be the punching bag for the day, or whatever. And you come at me, and I come at you, and everything is fun. But I try to give my all. I eat, sleep, and breathe this shit. I give y'all everything that I got every single day and every single night. Every day and every night, I'm gonna give you my all. All right? So if you just so happen to be the person that I pick, or if you are butthurt about it, get over yourself. This is what we do. All right? This is what we do. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I definitely do not take anybody or anyone for granted. If you are not a part of the Patreon, make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I did drop a video in the Patreon for you guys. So make sure you watch that, because I am going to be regularly dropping videos inside of the Patreon. And then hopefully you get some value out of that too, because I do give my all with those videos. I shoot a lot of B-roll footage. I try to talk about things that you can use and add into your business and in your real life. And make sure you tap into the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos inside of there. All right. Zeroy says, you are the only millionaire who takes time and gives those value and information. And I know a few and they would not do it. That's because I love y'all. And being a millionaire, let me tell you what being a millionaire is, Zeroy. Being rich and being a millionaire is not about how much money you have. It's not. It's about the value that you add into the people. The people are my currency. And as long as I have the people, I'll always be rich. I'll be rich in spirit. I'll be rich in love. And I know that my people always going to hold me down and have my back. Hopefully the same way that I add value and have y'all back too. All right? Got you. Closing prayer. Glad y'all reminded me. Closing prayer. Let me read a couple more super chats and then we're going to get into a closing prayer. And I'm going to let y'all go till tonight because we got after hours tonight. All right? Wagwan, AD, let's get that almighty prayer. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. For the derailment earlier, great show, AD, real life, PJ. Shout out to the real life PJ. CH, Wild One asked me Uber her to Diego. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Crackheads is a wild one. No. All right, y'all. Lord, be with the people. Be with my people. All right? Be with my people. Be with the chasers. Be with the people that love you, and reveal yourself in ways that they didn't know. Not even just your face, right? Not even just what you can do for them, but show them that the love that they have for the people is the way that they love you. The way that they love you is how they love on the people. The value add, the love, show them that the money comes along with it, and it's not about the money. It's about the value, and the money is always going to be there. Give us peace, love, success, good health, great relationships, awesome dynamics, and also bless us to know that the things that we go through and the things that we suffer from is not there to tear us down, but is there to give us a trampoline and an opportunity to learn, because you never let those that you love go through more than they can bear. And more importantly, it's about the lesson, and that's why we suffer. We suffer for righteousness' sake, and you just not letting us go through it because you want us to still have a character to go along with it. I love you. I love you more than anything that I've ever loved in my entire life. I praise you. You are the most awesome being that has ever existed. And I know that my obedience and the fact that I love you is a thing that keeps me girded up, protected, and in my purpose 100% of the time. Bless the people to be entertained, bless them to love each other, and bless them to all make it to the next show in good health, richer than they was before they left, and then also with greater relationships. I love you. I appreciate you. You are the greatest ever. And I pray everything in Jesus' name. Amen. Yaz Kid says, I want to be in your good graces, King. We love when you go in dark mode. It's all fun. It's all fun in games, all right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest on earth. And I'm going to see y'all tonight. Peace.